jumping exercises. Stand with your legs together. You ready? Because here we go. Legs apart, together, apart, together. Oh, that's fine. And the arms apart, together.
Viv, how about scrambled eggs? You did it again, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that was splendid.
Oh, keep still.
And now for our bending exercise with...
Lucy, will you do me a favor? Just don't turn the radio on tomorrow morning. Then maybe I can have my eggs the way I like them, fried. All right, I'm sorry. I got carried away. If you want fried eggs, I'll get you fried eggs. Picked up the mail. Any mail for me? Yeah, there's one letter for you. Who's it from? The Bureau of Internal Revenue. Ah! What do you have to do to get fried eggs around here? The Bureau of Internal Revenue? That's what I said. What do they want? I don't know. Open it up and see. I wouldn't touch it with rubber gloves. Oh, come on now, Lucy. You gotta open it. No, you open it. And if it's bad news, I don't want to hear it. Okay. Lucy! What? You got a refund. A refund? Yes. $38.23. Oh, what a wonderful government. Oh, gee, I'm going to have to send Lyndon a thank you note. Oh, I know just what I'm going to do with this. You're going to put that in the bank? No, that's too dull. I'm going to invest this in the stock market. Oh, now, Lucy, that's a gamble. No, it isn't. Now, I want to invest it in something that will grow. I'm thinking of the future. After all, I'm not getting any younger. I'm not getting any older, either. I'm in a nice, comfortable rut. Oh, you don't know anything about the stock market. I don't have to know anything about it. I'll go see a stockbroker. He'll advise me. Hey! What? What about my breakfast? Vivian, I can't waste my time getting breakfast, for heaven's sake. I gotta go buy some stock. The market may be going up right now. Who knows, someday maybe my $38 will be worth $38,000. Or 38 cents. Viv, that kind of thinking is why I own this house and you pay me rent. Clean up the eggs, girl.
Mrs. Carmichael?
Yes.
Oh, won't you please come in?
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Won't you be seated over there, please? All right. Now then, what can I do for you?
Well, I just came into some money, and I want to invest it.
A very smart move.
I know. My friend Mrs. Bagley said that I should put it into a savings account, but I want to put the entire amount in stock.
The entire amount?
Yes, sir. Every cent of it.
Oh, yes, well, excuse me, Mrs. Carmichael.
Yes.
Miss Rose?
Yes, Mr. Phillips?
I don't want to be disturbed. Hold all phone calls and tell Mr. Stevens I'll have to break that appointment. I have a very important client.
Yes, sir.
Well, then, Mrs. Carmichael, tell me, what kind of stocks did you have in mind?
Well, I really know very little about the stock market, but, well, that's why I came to you for advice.
Well, that's what I'm here for. However, there are different investments and different goals for every investor.
Oh, naturally.
And just what is your goal?
I want to get rich.
Well, that's understandable. But of course you realize you won't get rich overnight.
Oh, I don't expect to. I could wait a day or two. Are you all right, Mr. Phillips?
Well, I'm not quite sure, Miss Carmichael. Let's get serious for a moment, shall we, Mrs. Carmichael? Now, in order to get a maximum amount of security,
yes,
with a minimum of risk, I would suggest that you diversify.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Just wonderful. What does it mean?
It means that you don't invest all of your money in one company. You buy different things, like railroads or automobile companies or electronics.
Oh, fine. I'll take a railroad, an automobile company, and electronics.
All three?
Why not?
Oh, well, that'll make an excellent portfolio. Oh, that reminds me. Miss Rose?
Yes, Mr. Phillips?
I want you to order a special briefcase for Mrs. Carmichael in which she can keep her stock information. The embossed leather type with her name imprinted on it.
Oh.
What's your first name?
Lucy.
Lucy. It's very nice. Her name is Lucy Carmichael. Oh, and I want that in gold lettering.
Gold lettering? Oh, in that case, perhaps you should put Lucille.
Oh, would you, Miss Rose, would you make that Lucille?
Yes, with 3 L's.
3 L's?
Yes, 1 at the beginning and 2 near the end.
Did you get that, Miss Rose?
Yes, sir. 3 L's.
Yeah. Then now, let's see, Miss Carmichael, how many shares of each company would you like?
Well, as many as I can get.
Well, just how much you have to invest?
$38.23.
$38.23?
Yes, sir, and I am willing to invest every cent of it. Are you sure you feel all right, Mr. Phillips?
Oh, fine. I haven't felt this way since 1929.
But I thought maybe something was wrong with you.
Oh, no. I tell you what, Mrs. Carmichael, I think the best thing for you to do is to buy a share or two of some good conservative stock, like a bank. Perhaps the very bank with which you do business.
You mean I could own stock in Mr. Mooney's bank?
Yes, your stock would make you part owner in this Mr. Mooney's bank.
A part owner? Oh, well, it's the Danfield Bank.
Yes, Danfield. Yes, Danfield. Here it is. Yes, it's selling for $32 a share.
Buy me a share immediately.
Yes.
Well, now that I'm part owner of the bank, I'll be able to tell Mr. Mooney a thing or two. You know, Mr. Phillips, you may not believe this, but I have always had difficulty with this Mr. Mooney.
Oh, I believe it. All right, Mrs. Carmichael, here's your receipt. You can pay the cashier outside.
Thank you.
You're
I think I shall go directly over to the bank. You know, I haven't been too happy with the way Mr. Mooney has been handling things lately. Good day, Mr. Phillips.
Goodbye, Miss Carmichael.
Good morning, Mrs. Carmichael.
Morning. How are things going?
Fine.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that. Well, that's a nice big deposit, Mr. Williams. We can certainly use that. Keep up the good work, my man. Can I help you, Mrs. Valance?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm just making out this withdrawal slip.
A withdrawal slip? You mean you're taking money out? Oh, you shouldn't do that. You'll only spend it and you'll hate yourself in the morning. Now, if you need money, you just go to a finance company. Well, Mr. Summers, that's a big, fat deposit.
If I ever get to the head of this line.
Yeah, well, now don't you worry about that. Just step right over here. Would you take care of Mr. Summers immediately, please?
You shouldn't do this, Mrs. Carmichael.
Well, of course I should do that. I happen to be one of the new owners of the bank.
You're an owner of this bank?
That's right.
Bye.
Well, I guess he was anxious to spread the good news. Stick 'em out!
Oh, it's you, Mrs. Carmichael. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to teach you a lesson, George. Anyone could walk in here and rob this bank. Do you know that? You're going to have to be a little quicker on the draw. I got a 9-year-old nephew that can outdraw you. Now, you better stay home nights and practice your quick draw. If you want to keep your job. Mr. Mooney, would you initial this, please?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I beg your pardon, madam. Oh, it's you.
It's 11:30. Where have you been?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was in the boardroom. I was tallying up something. What concern is it of yours?
Well, now, that's not a very nice way to treat your business associate.
Now, look, I don't have any time. My business associate?
That's right, Mr. Mooney. You'll be happy to know that I have bought stock in your bank, and I am now your partner. What do you think of that?
I think I'll kill myself. You're kidding, Mrs. Carmichael. Please tell me you're kidding.
No, I am not kidding. The government gave me a big refund on my income tax, and I put it all in your bank stock.
Why would my own government do this to me? What? Lyndon.
Mr. Mooney, now that I am part owner of the bank, I want you to rest assured that I am going to do everything I can to help you.
You really know how to hurt a guy, don't you?
You don't like me.
That is a masterpiece of understatement. Now, Mrs. Carmichael, I'm very busy. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Danfield Bank, Mrs. Carmichael, stockholder speaking. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Mooney doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Why did you do that?
You said you didn't want to talk to anybody.
Who was it?
Oh, somebody named Bainbridge.
Bainbridge. Well, he's the chairman of the board. I've got to get him back.
But what number it is?
Get your cotton-picking fingers off that telephone! Will you do me a favor? Get out!
Well, I know when I'm not wanted.
Hello there. Hi.
Where have you been?
I came just as soon as you called. Lucy, did you really buy stock in this bank?
Yes.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, it's Mr. Mooney. Even though I'm a stockholder, he won't let me help him.
Oh, he's just like my ex-husband. All men are like that.
They don't think women can do anything.
No, they want all the credit. We have the babies, they pass out the cigars.
Well, I'm not going to give up this easily. As a stockholder, I have an investment to protect. Come on.
Yes, Mr. Bainbridge. I know that Dr. Kurtzman represents $1 million research foundation. Well, I've tried to talk to him about opening an account, but he's a very difficult man to see. As a matter of fact, he's quite peculiar. I think of something, sir. Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Mr. Mooney.
Oh, it's you two. The Lady Wolf of Wall Street and Typhoid Mary.
Mr. Mooney, could I go and see Dr. Kurtzman? Perhaps I could get his account.
You? It would take someone better than you are. Dr. Kurtzman is no ordinary person. He's eccentric, very peculiar, strange, rather weird. Good heavens, you're just the one to see him. Oh, you have so much in common.
Well, then can I go?
Yes.
Oh, good.
But
Okay.
don't do anything to antagonize the doctor. No matter how eccentric he seems, you be agreeable.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
after the
sir.
bank closes, I'll come along.
All right.
Yes, to finalize the deal, I hope.
Okay. Don't you worry about a thing, Mr. Mooney.
No.
Hello, this is Dr. Oscar Kurtzman's secretary. We were wondering when... Oh, they're on their way over? Thank you very much. Oh, Doctor.
Yes.
I just talked with the university. The volunteers for your experiment are on their way over.
Good. Today is the day of the great experiment.
Doctor, just what form is this experiment going to take?
You seem very interested in what I'm doing here.
Doctor, I work for you.
Don't come to me with your problems.
Doctor, I must know what the experiment is about if I am going to assist you with it.
Very well. We will be utilizing techniques that are called in the common primitive English word hypnosis.
Oh.
Now, that must be the volunteers. Go quickly, Miss Thompson. Get them in.
Yes.
Send them in quickly. Schnell.
Right this way.
Hello.
How do you do, ladies?
How do you do?
Hello.
I am Dr. Kurtzman.
How do you do?
And you must be the volunteers, yes?
Well, yes, you could say that.
Good. But wasn't there supposed to be also a man?
Well, I believe there'll be a man over later.
Good.
Miss Thompson,
Yes.
close quickly, please. The drapes, the blinds, everything. I lock the door. So, in this way, we keep out the outside distractions while you are being hypnotized. And now, ladies, you will please sit here. Now, you will watch this, and soon you will fall asleep. No, let's. It certainly works fast.
Doesn't it always work that fast?
I don't know. I never did it before. Fortunately, they sent us 2 weak minds. Let us see that the special room is made ready with everything, so just prepared.
Viv? What? You were hypnotized, were you?
I'll say I wasn't hypnotized. Now I'm going to get out of here,
No,
Lucille.
Viv,
Now,
listen, we gotta pretend to be hypnotized or we won't get the account for the bank. Now, please, I...
First, that will be... Now, ladies, you are in complete hypnosis. Later, when I wake you up, you will have been regressed to the age of 5. You will not see me or notice me except when I click my clicker. And you will obey me when I click my clicker. Now, open your eyes. Stand up. In a little while, you will believe you are children. You will behave as children. You will be children. Now, Miss Thompson, take them out and get them ready.
Come this way.
The male volunteer. I will go and get him ready. You stay here and take the notes.
my name's Vivian. I'm pretty.
My name is Wooshie, and I don't like you.
Oh, I take dancing lessons. I can kick over my head.
Okay, kick it over here and I'll kick it back.
What I mean? I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to show... I'll show you how I mean kick. There! I bet you can't do that.
I can, too.
Let me see you, let me see. Let me see you.
I broke my winter cedar.
Does it hurt you?
Yes, I'm hurt it, and it's all your fault. You were hurting me.
Children, I do not want you to fight. I want you to be friends and have fun.
I like you.
And now, children, I have a wonderful surprise for you.
What's the surprise?
Well,
I want the surprise.
You just
I
wait
want
and
the
see.
surprise.
Just wait and see. You can come in now.
Why you fellas dressed like that?
Us fellas is girls. My name is Lucy.
How old are you?
I's 5. I'm only 4.
She's 6 if she's a day. Wait. What's that under your nose?
That's a mustache.
It is not. Only grown-ups have mustaches.
Does your daddy have a mustache?
No, my mommy does. That's a make-believe mustache.
It's real.
It's a make-believe mustache.
It's real.
It's make-believe.
It's real. It's real. Ah!
He's white. It's real.
Children, I told you no fighting. Now, the next thing we will do is... Yes.
Doctor, something terrible has happened.
Terrible. What is lost? What?
You'd better come and see for yourself.
All right, I come. Now, you children stay like so. I will come directly back.
Oh, boy. It's lucky we were good at playing statues when we were kids.
I'll say, I almost died when he came in on Mr. Mooney. You were very funny when you came
Hey,
through the door.
everything's going swell, don't you
I'll
think?
say it is.
You could fool anybody,
I'll
Mr.
say
Mooney.
it could.
Mr. Mooney? Mr. Mooney? My goodness, he's really hypnotized. He's stiffer than Dean Martin.
How can you do such a mistake? How is this possible? I want to ask you its first bar. Now, I have to do once again the whole experiment. All right, you go back with the others. I will finish up here.
Yes, Doctor.
Now, children, listen to me carefully. When I click my clicker, you will become once again adults and forget all that has happened here.
What in the world are you doing in those outrageous costumes?
Look who's talking, little Lord Fauntleroy.
Oh, good heavens. What is the meaning of this?
Sir, please, all of you, understand I mistook you for volunteers for my experiment.
Well, I happen to be the president of the Danfield Bank.
Well, you look more like the president of a piggy bank.
Mrs. Bagley, please. Now, Doctor, I came over here to talk to you about doing business with my bank, and you've made me look like a fool.
Mr.
My
Mooney,
lawyer will call on you. I will sue you for every penny you have.
Mr. Mooney, Mr. Mooney, I beg of you, sir, to make amends. I will do all of my banking business with you. I give you my word.
I'll take it.
Oh, thank you,
Oh, that's
sir.
very good.
Oh, they sure settled that case out of court, huh?
Oh, well, thank you, and you are all so kind and understanding. Thank you.
Goodbye.
And so, the experiment goes on.
We did it!
We did it! We got it! You got the
You
account.
certainly did. And to show my appreciation for your help, I'm going to see that you get a fitting reward.
Oh, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna get?
I am going to buy us all ice cream cones.
We're going to have ice cream. Here we go to the ice cream store. The ice cream store. The ice cream store. Here we go to the ice cream store. Early in the morning. Here we go to the ice cream store. The ice cream store. The ice cream store. Here we go to the ice cream store.
Oh, come on now, Viv. All I want you to do is listen to the radio with me.
Oh, but I wanted to sleep late.
This is important, Viv.
Listening to the radio?
I want you to help me win a contest.
Oh, Lucy, I'm sleepy.
Oh, Viv, please, sit down. Now, I'll give you some coffee.
Okay, bring it up to my bed.
Viv, will you please sit down? Now, this will only take a little while. You know you wouldn't be so tired if you didn't stay up all night looking at TV. I don't know why you watch that late show anyway. You've already got a used car.
You know how I love those James Cagney movies? This is the best one he ever did. This is the one where he pushed that grapefruit into his girlfriend's face. Boy, they don't make love scenes like that anymore.
Oh, it's time to get ready for the contest. Hurry up, get ready.
Howdy, howdy, all you happy housewives. This is Gordy Felson, and it's contest time.
Oh, it's contest time.
Shh, there. Now be quiet. Concentrate. Close your eyes so you can really hear the sound.
I'm now going to play the mystery sound. It's a noise you lovely lady listeners can find right there in your kitchen. To the first person who calls in and correctly identifies the sound, Station WLDJ will award a cash prize of $25 in the honor of being disc jockey for a day right here in our sensation of a station. So glue those ears to the radio, girls. Here it comes, the mystery sound. Identify it and win. Ready?
Ready.
There it was. Now just give me a call and that's all. And now back to the swing sounds of Jan Garber.
All right. What was it?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's figure it out now. It was sort of a whir. We must have one of those around here someplace.
Yeah, which drawer do you keep the whirs in?
Come on now, Viv. I'm serious. I can use that $25. And I want to work at the radio station for a day. It might lead to bigger things, you know.
Well, is that any reason to tear apart our whole kitchen? Wouldn't it just be easier to borrow the money from Mr. Mooney?
Mr. Mooney?
I guess you better tear apart the kitchen.
Maybe it's a blender.
No, I don't think that's it. I don't think
No, maybe it's the washing machine. Now, you listen.
Okay.
What does that sound like, Viv?
Sounds like you're milking a cow out there.
What could it be? Maybe it's a knife sharpener. Knife and an electric knife sharpener.
No, that isn't.
Egg beater. Look, now listen. Listen, Viv. Egg beater.
Lucy! Oh, got my hair. I beat it.
I'm sorry.
Oh!
Sorry, Viv. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's it either.
Maybe it was something simple like water running.
Oh, if it was that simple, everybody would guess it.
Well, you know, they could have taken some small noise and amplified it on the microphone. The egg timer.
The egg timer?
Yeah, the sound of sand falling in the egg timer. Now listen, Viv. Do you hear anything?
Yep, Lawrence of Arabia calling for help. That is the silliest thing I ever heard of. What kind of a sound would that be anyway? It's all silly.
I know, the garbage disposal.
Up now. Did you have the plumber fix it?
No, I didn't have the plumber fix it. I fixed it myself.
Oh.
I'll try these eggshells. What'd that sound like?
Eggshell.
Well, I'll try some other kind of garbage. Oh, dear, the pail is empty. How do you like that? Garbage all over the place, and when you want some, you can't find any. Viv, go next door and borrow some.
You want me to go next door and ask to borrow a cup of garbage?
Why not? We'll give it back.
Well, I'm just not going to do it. They've never borrowed any from us.
Maybe it's a garbage disposal with nothing in it. Let's see how that sounds. What can I put in there? I'm sorry. I fixed it. I'm just terribly sorry.
Are you still at that?
Well, I thought maybe
maybe if I just kept on banging and scraping at things, I could, sort of stumble on the sound. Come on, help me.
Oh, sure.
Now, this is like, like you stir potatoes. Does that sound like it?
No, not a thing like it. Well, you wouldn't do that anyway. That's not an ordinary kitchen sound. Would
Well,
Mike
it's
ever do
found
anything
in the
if you did
kitchen,
something like
for
that?
heaven's sake.
Hey, how about that?
Oh, that's pretty loud, isn't it? Go softly at it. How's this? Listen to this. It's coming in. If you do this long enough.
Well,
Hi, Mr. Mooney.
Hi.
I just stopped by to give you your weekly allowance check. But I didn't expect to interrupt a Spike Jones rehearsal.
Well, if you would allow me a bigger allowance, I wouldn't have to try and win money.
Win?
Yes, a mystery sound contest on WLDJ. If you guess the sound, you win $25, and you might get to be a disc jockey for a day.
I haven't heard anything so ridiculous since Mrs. Hush. There's your money.
One nice thing about getting a check from you, Mr. Mooney, I can cash it on any bus.
Well, I'm not going to stand around and have my fiduciary efforts ridiculed.
Oh.
Good day, ladies.
Oh, come on, Mr. Mooney. Wouldn't you like to help us?
Me? Participate in that housewife's hoot nanny? No, thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Mooney. Come on, let's get back to the contest.
Oh, Lucy, haven't we wasted enough time?
Well, you know something? It's probably an offbeat sound. I got one more hunch. You know the weird sound that an ice tray makes when you pull it out of the refrigerator?
No, I don't think that's it.
Well, now, how do you know? Oh, boy. Come on, help me. It's stuck.
Oh, boy, it's frozen solid. I told you to defrost that thing. Getting that tray out of there will be worse than trying to pull teeth.
Well, now, I just bet that that's a mystery noise. You know that scrunching sound it makes when you pull it out?
Well, if you think so and you're so sure about it, call him up and tell him.
Oh, no. You're only allowed one guess. I gotta be absolutely positive.
Well, you'll never get that thing out of there.
Oh, yes, I will.
Well, you've really flipped your wig.
I have not. This is just perfect. I'm just going to slam this door and the ice tray will come flying out. Just like pulling teeth.
Don't you think we ought to give it a shot of Novocaine first?
No. Now you stay in here and listen to the sound it makes.
Okay.
I think we're going to find the mystery sound. All right, now here I go. 1, 2, 3.
And pull that plug out before something else horrible happens around
Bibb,
here.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
this
didn't
mystery.
mean to do it.
Oh, dear heavens. Oh, my. Oh, we'll never get this cleaned up.
Did you hear what I heard? Plug that in again. Do it again. Do it again. All right, you ready?
Yep.
You ready to listen?
Yep.
That's it. The mystery sound.
That's it. You got it.
That's it.
That's it.
It's the unplugging of a refrigerator. Oh, operator, I'm sorry. Give me station WLDJ. Quickly, please.
Well, congratulations on correctly identifying our mystery sound as a refrigerator going off.
Well, thank you. The way I wrecked my refrigerator, it may never go on again.
Well, a Gordon Felsen contest is never an easy contest.
No.
Now, why don't you just have a seat?
Thank you.
The other winner will be here shortly.
Other winner?
Yes, the other listener called up on another phone at the same time you did, so I have to consider it a tie.
Just my luck, a one-man station with 2 phones.
Funny.
Well, am I supposed to split the money or something?
Oh, no. A Gordon Felsen contest never ends in a tie. We're going to have a playoff.
What's a playoff?
Well, I'll explain that to you when the other winner gets here.
Oh. Oh, hello, Mr. Mooney.
Hello?
You know the other winner?
Other winner?
You?
You said this contest was silly.
I said it was silly for you. I didn't say anything about me.
Well, I'm not going to have a playoff with this banking Benedict Arnold. It's not fair. I gave him the idea.
Well, now, please, we don't have time to argue.
But Mr. Felsen...
No, now, listen, they don't call me Fair Felsen for nothing. I mean, Mr. Mooney did have the correct answer, so we must have a playoff.
How'd you ever guess the mystery sound?
I was defrosting the refrigerator.
Doesn't your wife usually do that?
Yes, but she was out chopping wood.
Well, now, in order to be fair, we'll have an announcing contest to break the tie.
An announcing contest?
My voice against hers? Well, that's like Walter Cronkite versus Donald Duck.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Mooney. I talk pretty good.
Mrs. Carmichael, you do not talk good. You just talk constantly.
If you two happy winners are ready, I'll hear you both now.
Well, now I do the Gettysburg Address, Hamlet's soliloquy, Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven.
Well, I can do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Little Bo Peep, and Tubby the Tuba.
And none of that'll be necessary. You just have to say what's on the card here.
Oh, I see. Big, black, rubber, baby, buggy bumpers.
That's right. It's a standard disc jockey test, and the one who says it the fastest and the clearest wins. Just say what's on the piece of paper 3 times fast and clear.
Big, black, rubber, baby, baggers. Big, black, ragga, bagga, booga, biggy, biggy. Big, black, baggy, boogers,
He didn't do it. All you can understand was when he cleared his throat.
Well, here, you try, Mrs. Carmichael.
Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. I won!
No, look. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
That's not fair.
No, I'm afraid Mrs. Carmichael won.
Yes, I won.
Yes, she won.
I see. Well, I suppose I'd better be getting back to the bank. I have a lot of work to do. Like reviewing the mortgage on this radio station.
Oh, wait, no. Come here, maybe we can give Mr. Mooney another chance.
That's not fair.
Here, try the same thing with this one. Red leather, yellow leather. 3 times fast.
That's easy. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. I did it. I won again.
Well, now, do you think you know where everything is?
Well, I certainly know that that's the right turntable. That is the master switch. That is the amplifier. This is the selectivity switch, whatever that is. And, of course, I know that's the microphone.
Right.
This is the volume control. These are all the baseball cues.
Yeah, that's right. The sound effects here, they'll help you dramatize the baseball game.
Yep. And I know that's a left turntable.
Right, and that's the audio control for the left turntable.
Right.
And this is the tape machine for the commercial.
The commercial for Spangle Soda Pop.
Right, Spangle. They're our big sponsor, and they pay all the bills here.
I know.
Just flip this switch right here.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, it all looks pretty easy. It looks to me like this place practically runs itself.
Right. We're hooked into the network now, but you'll be going on in a few minutes. So here's a rundown of the show. You just follow this schedule.
Thank you. What's that?
That's the news teletype, remember?
Oh, yes. The teletype for the news bulletin.
That's it. Well, I guess I can take off. This being a one-man station and me being that man, well, this is the first day off I've had in 9 years. Good luck.
Have a nice day.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay, and don't you worry about a thing. I got everything under control.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The right turntable and the master switch. The amplifier and selectivity switch. And the...
I got a note on that one.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, now I know what turns on the electric fan, but I don't know anything else. What's that? I'm on the air. I'm on the air. Oh, rubber baby buggy bumper, rubber bumper. Hello out there. Hello out there. This is Lucy. Lucy, the disc jockey, saying hello out there. Hello. Hello to all of you people in Radio Land, way out there. I'm going to be here all day with all of your favorite tunes, from rock to Rachmaninoff. But first, a word from our sponsor, Spangle Soda Pop. Oh, the commercial on the tape.
Sygnał Soda Pop has a sweet taste of fresh air. And this taste of nature makes your whole mouth
Yes, sir, Spangle Soda Pop. You really should drink that stuff. And now for some music. You know what? I bet you I'm going to break a few records here today. Here's that wonderful song. Oh, no wonder. It's a Dean Martin album. Now I know how Dean Martin feels. Well, we interrupt this program to bring you a traffic advisory bulletin. All the alternate routes are heavily congested. Please use the freeways. Well, that's what it says. And now, folks, we bring you a spot announcement. Spot announcement. Well, now, thank you, Spot. And now for a little music. Where's the phone? Oh, hello? Oh, hello, station WLDJ. Lucy, the disc jockey speaking. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We play request numbers. Yes, well, let me write it down, sir. Right now? Yes, you'd like me to play a request number for Hilda. Oh, Hilda and Babs. Uh-huh. And Jan? Oh, Hilda, Babs, and Jan. And Ella. Uh-huh. And Molly, and Dottie, and Roselle, and Mimi. Mimi? Yeah, like Eisenhower. Yeah. And Mildred, and Doris, and Nora. Yeah, and Emma. Uh-huh. Mary Ann, and Evelyn, and Sadie, and Emma. Is that the same Emma you just mentioned? Oh, this was a redhead. And Sue Ellen. Yeah, that's one name, I know. Yeah, and Gertrude, and Estelle, and Joan, and Connie, and Sylvia. Uh-huh. Well, what number would you like me to play, sir? You're the one for me? I'll be very happy to play your request, sir. You gotta be kidding. You're the one for me. You're the one for me. I can't find You're the One for Me, but here's a good one. Yes, sir, you're gonna love it. Yes, it's Bing Crosby sings Stephen Foster. There we are.
Rum bum 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 bum, Stephen Foster.
Oh, yes, sirree, folks, a baseball game. We're in the ninth inning of the ball game. Now, both pitchers have no-hit games going for them. And the score is 0-0, so you haven't missed anything yet, really. And Maury Thompson is at bat. Now, here comes the pitch, and it's a hit. Oh, a hit. A hit. It's a hit. Well, now, I told you it was a hit. And listen to that crowd roar. Crowd roar. Yes, sir. Listen to that crowd roar. Now Thompson is rounded first and is running for second. Running for second. Running. Boy, he's really running, folks. And it's going to be a close play, and Thompson slides into second base. Slide. Slide. Now it sounds like he slid into second base, but he left his pants at first base. The umpire's called Thompson out, and Thompson is furious. He is arguing with the umpire. Arguing with the umpire. He's having a little horseradish. I mean, a rhubarb. Arguing. They're having a terrible argument.
And there's some orange trees, and that's the swimming pool. And that must be the baseball field.
Jerry, please, it's not polite to point. People are staring at you.
Where?
Right over there.
I sure hope they accept me here.
Well, honey, don't worry about it, but it is important that we create a good impression in our interview with Major Grayson. He's the admittance officer. Take a look at you now. Let me see your nails. Oh, Jerry, how do you get your nails so dirty?
I don't know.
Well, put them in your pocket.
I think that's why they get so dirty.
Come in.
Major Grayson?
Yes, Corporal?
Mrs. Carmichael to see you, sir.
Oh, send them right in.
Major Grayson?
Yes, Mrs. Carmichael, come right in, won't you?
How do you do?
How do you do?
This is my son, Jerry.
Hi there, Scout. Oh,
How do you do?
excuse me. Well, will you sit down?
Thank you. You sit over there, dear.
I have your letter right here.
Oh,
Mrs.
good. Bless you. would have typed the whole letter, but the ribbon broke. I wanted to finish it in ink, but Jerry borrowed my pen for school.
All right.
Anyway, I think better in crayon.
There's no need to apologize, Mrs. Carmichael. After all, Abraham Lincoln wrote his greatest speech on the back of a paper bag.
Yeah, but it wasn't as tough to get a kid in school in those days.
Well, we always find room for a boy who's qualified.
Oh, good, good.
Mrs. Carmichael, I see here that your home is back east.
Oh, not anymore. You see, I moved to California to be closer to my daughter. She's attending college out here.
Well, you're rather young looking to have a daughter in college.
Oh, thank you, General.
Major.
Sorry, Major.
Yeah. Now, Mrs. Carmichael, may I ask, what prompted your decision to enroll your son in a private school?
Well, sir, you see, I live on a very modest income from a small trust fund left by my husband. And now, with the expense of having my daughter in college, I figured if I boarded Jerry in a nice school during the week, I'd be free to go out and find myself a job.
I see. What kind of work do you do?
Well, before I was married, I went to New York and I worked as a secretary, a cashier, a telephone operator, a sales lady, a waitress, and a librarian.
Oh, sounds like quite a career. How long were you in New York?
2 weeks.
And that many jobs?
It was a matter of adjustment. New York just doesn't seem to adjust to some people.
I see. Yes, well, I'll just get your application.
Thank you.
All right. Here we are. Now then, tell me, young man, how did you come to select our school?
Well, I wrote to a lot of schools, and the letter I got back from you said you had baseball, football, horseback riding, and a swimming pool.
Ooh, conducted your own survey, huh?
He's very smart for his age.
Well, we also have mathematics, history, English, geography, and Latin.
You didn't say that in your letter.
Well, we're smart for our age. But it isn't all work. We do have a very fine recreation program here, and we're quite proud of our baseball team.
Yeah, I saw the baseball field.
Yes, Jerry's very fond of baseball. Back home in the Little League, he played second base and batted .298.
Is that so?
Yes, and he would have batted well over 300 if it hadn't been for some very bad umpiring.
Mom, you're not supposed to say that.
Why not?
It's just not big league.
Oh.
Well, Mrs. Carmichael, your application seems to be in order. I'll register Jerry now, and he can be admitted on Monday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Now, what I'll need is his transfer slip from his former school.
Oh, yes, the transfer slip. I have it right here, sir.
Thank you. Now, what? What in the...
It's only bubble gum.
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're experts at removing gum and scraping peanut butter off homework papers.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Yes, Corporal?
The bus is waiting.
You're right there. Well, Mrs. Carmichael, I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday. Right now, I have a bus waiting to take our baseball team on an outing.
Baseball team?
Yes, we're going to Marineland. It's Jimmy Pearsall Day. He's going to be down there signing autographs.
Gee, Jimmy Pearsall, he's my favorite player.
Oh, well, I'd like to take you along, Jerry, but regulations won't allow me to accept responsibility for someone who hasn't been admitted officially. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Fine. But as long as you're here, why don't you have your mother take you over to our stables and see our horses? Maybe visit our gymnasium and swimming pool.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good boy. Well, I'll see you on Monday then, Mrs. Carmichael.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You've been most kind.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, Major Grayson.
Good.
Come on, Mom. We may as well go look at the horses.
We won't have time for that, Jerry. I've got to go home, change my clothes, go to the bank, and get some money.
Why do you have to do all that now?
Because you are not going to be the only kid on that baseball team that didn't meet Jimmy Pearsall.
Oh, boy!
Come on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Oh, sure. You're absolutely right.
Thank you, dear.
I'll take care of it. I'll see that it's put in the mail in the morning. Thank you very much.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
I'm Mrs. Carmichael. I talked to you earlier on the phone.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Carmichael? Sit down, please.
Thank you.
You're the lady whose trust fund has been placed in our care.
Yes, sir. And I would like to draw some money in advance on next month's allowance.
No problem.
It isn't.
Well, after all, it's your money.
Well, my goodness. You know, whenever I tried to get an advance from the man in charge of my account back home, it was like pulling teeth.
Well, Mrs. Carmichael, I think you'll find banking in California is much more casual.
Is that so?
Oh, certainly. We try to be understanding. After all, there are many people in the low-income bracket who come to us for help in certain emergencies, like a new filter for the swimming pool or an additional stereo speaker on the patio, a facelift, a nose job, or a trip to Las Vegas.
Mr. Potter, I am certainly lucky to have a man like you in charge of my account.
Thank you, Mrs. Carmichael, but I'm not in charge of your account.
Oh?
This is being turned over to one of our trust officers. The gentleman in the office over there will help you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. You've been most kind.
Anytime, Mrs. Carmichael.
Thank you.
Good day.
Good day. You wait right here now, darling. I'll only be a minute. Okay. Mr. Mooney. You mean you're handling my account again?
I am?
Well, Mr. Potter... Oh, boy. It sure is a small world.
It sure is. And if I could find a launching pad, I'd leave it.
What are you doing out here in California anyway?
Well, last week the bankers down in Danfield were shifting various executives around, and, well, I was given two choices. And I chose the state of California.
What was the other choice?
The state of unemployment. But, Mrs. Carmichael.
What?
Did you know that out here in California, some banks give you gifts when you open a new account?
They do?
Yes, and I'll see to it that you get a lovely gift if you'll open your account at another bank.
Oh, now don't be like that, Mr. Mooney. Things are going to be different now that I'm out here in California. I'm going to start off with a clean slate.
Good. Well, I hope that means that in the future you will limit your spending to the bare necessities of life.
Yes, sir.
Good.
I have just come face to face with a $20 necessity.
For what?
I want to go to Marineland.
Marineland?
Yes.
How can you call that a necessity?
Because I don't want my son to be the only boy in school who doesn't have Jimmy Pearsall's autograph.
What?
It's Jimmy Pearsall Day at Marineland.
I don't care what day it is. That is still a great extravagance.
Well, the bus fare alone is over $5.
Well, don't go by bus. No. Find yourself a friend who has a car and have him drive you there.
Oh, what an idea. You're wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
How soon can we leave?
We...
Well, it was your idea, and you're the only friend I have out here in California.
Mrs. Carmichael, can you give me one good reason why I should leave my duties here at the bank to drive you to Marineland?
You bet I can give you one good reason. this postcard to Aunt Viv and her new husband.
I was very pleased when I heard about Mrs. Bagley's marriage. Fine man, Vern Bunsen.
Yeah, and you know, Vivian says one of the nicest things about her new husband is that his name matches the initials on her old luggage. And you know, Sherman's just crazy about his new father.
Come on, Mom, let's get going.
Jerry, would you like it if someday I got married again and you had a new father?
I'd rather have a surfboard.
They didn't have surfboards when I got married.
Imagine going to Marineland and seeing Jimmy Pearsall all on the same day.
You know, Jimmy Pearsall's Jerry's favorite baseball player.
He's just great. And when he gets on base, boy, can he steal.
Terry, in the presence of a banker, never use the word steal.
There he is, Mom, Jimmy Pearsall.
But you go ahead, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Good luck, fella. Next.
Hello. I'm Lucy Carmichael, and my son had me bring him all the way down here to meet you.
Fine. Where is he?
He's right. Oh, here he is. He's not usually bashful, but you're such a big hero to him.
Don't be shy, pal. Shake hands. Hey, you at a pretty good grip. What do you want me to write?
I don't know.
Oh, just say to Jerry Carmichael from Jimmy Pearsall.
How do you spell that?
P-I-E-R-S-A-C-A-R. M-I-C-H-A-E-L. That's A-E-L.
Jerry, do you play ball?
Only in the Little League.
Once he pitched a no-hitter.
Yeah, what was the score?
8-0.
Nice win.
We lost.
How could you lose 8-0 pitching a no-hitter?
No hits, but 32 off.
Well, it wasn't his fault. It was a case of very bad umpiring.
Mom, mothers aren't supposed to blame the umpires, are they?
Mine does.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first afternoon's performance will get underway in a few minutes in the Wales Stadium.
Oh, boy, Wales.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Mr. Pearsall. Oh, and I hope someday that you pitch a no-hitter.
Huh?
Mom, Jimmy's an outfielder. They don't let him pitch.
They don't? Well, we had the same situation, and I'll tell you what to do. Have your mother go to the manager and tell him that you have just as much right to pitch as anybody else.
Thanks, lady. I'll try that.
Okay, bye-bye.
And they call me a kook.
Mr. Pearsall, may I have your autograph?
Jerry, will you stop playing with that ball now? You're going to lose it.
I won't.
Oh, look, there's Major Grayson with all the boys. See over there?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin our afternoon show.
Okay. This is exciting.
Really, Mrs. Carmichael, you are the most unsophisticated woman.
I am not unsophisticated. I mean, isn't it exciting for the kids? As far as I'm concerned, if you've seen one whale, you've seen them all.
Well, you certainly don't act it.
Well, that's because I've never seen one whale. Oh, boy, I see a lot of things swimming around out there.
Hey, lady, will you please sit down so we can see?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, look! It's the whale! Hey, see the whale? Look at the whale!
Lady, will you please sit down?
Yeah, sit down!
Sorry. Jerry, what are you doing? What's the matter now?
I dropped my ball.
Oh, dear.
I see it. I'll get it.
Hey, the show's out there, Buster.
Grayson is here. Please do not embarrass us.
Just getting his ball.
Let me hold it.
And now, folks, stepping out on the platform to conduct our performance is Marineland's world-famous trainer of marine life, Larry Clark. And now, Bubbles, our patriotic whale, will start the festivities by unfurling the American flag.
The ball. Oh. mind, honey. We'll get you another one.
But Jimmy Pierce all left.
Oh, really? All right, I'll get it.
If there's anything I hate, it's a smart aleck fish.
Mom, get my ball.
Wait here. I would. Oh.
Mr. Mooney! Mr. Mooney, come and get me, Mr. Mooney!
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Oh! 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 Mr. Mooney! Mr. Mooney, help me!
Oh,
Mr. Mooney! Help me! Oh!
Look out!
Mr. Mooney!
Hang on!
I am hanging on!
I can't hold on to it.
I can't hang on!
Watch me!
Thank you, Major.
Well, Major Grayson, I can explain everything.
Well, I certainly hope so. And Mrs. Carmichael, I'm enrolling your son in our school immediately. I think he'll be a lot safer with us. May I help you, sir?
No, thank you.
Hi.
Who is it?
I'm Mary Jane Lewis. I live in the next apartment.
Oh, well, hello. I'm Lucy Carmichael. I'm very happy to meet you.
I just came to pay a neighborly visit.
Well, that's a nice thing to hear in a big city like Los Angeles.
People can be just as friendly in Los Angeles as they can in Danfield.
Well, how did you know I was from Danfield?
I know all about you. You are a widow. You've been here about a month. You've got a daughter in college, a son in military school, and a banker named Mr. Mooney who yells at you.
How did you know all that?
Thin walls, big ears, and our blabbermouth landlady.
But you better sit down and tell me all about myself. Here's a chair for you. Well, say, how did you get in here? Did I leave my door open?
Oh, no, I climbed through a hole in your fence.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Would you like some cake?
No, I have to stay on my diet so I can fit in my patio.
I know what you mean. I have earrings bigger than these patios.
Listen, Lucy, I can only stay a minute. I really came to ask you something.
What?
Do you like lifeguards?
Lifeguards? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Why?
Well, I've got an extra one.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, well, I mean, I go with this fellow who's a lifeguard, and he has a friend, Howard Coe, who's also a lifeguard. And Jim thought it'd be nice if I get a date for Howie, and we'd go out on a foursome.
Yeah, well, that might be fun.
And Howie's a very nice guy. You two would get along swell. He's a marvelous person.
What does he look like?
I don't know. I never met him.
But you just said that he
Oh, well, Jim said he was nice. And you really should go out and meet more people here, Lucy.
Yeah, I know. Well, blind dates are kind of dramatic. Lifeguard, huh? Okay, I'd like to meet him sometime.
How about 8 o'clock?
Tonight?
Sure, I already told Jim and Howie.
How did you know I'd say yes?
Well, people usually say yes to me just to shut me up.
I think we're going to be great friends, Mary Jane. I use that trick myself sometimes.
Yes. Well, I have to run now.
Oh, well, thanks very much for coming over, Mary Jane.
Oh, I'll put away my chair.
Oh, don't be silly. I can put that away.
I'll put it away.
Come on now. It really... Oh, I don't want to look. Did it hit anything?
I don't know. I don't even see it.
Oh, I don't either. I'll run down and see where it landed.
Oh, Lucy.
Yeah?
We won't go anyplace fancy tonight, so don't dress to kill.
Okay, I'll just dress to wound him a little. You found the chair I dropped.
Oh, so you were the one who dropped it. Well, now Los Angeles has two health hazards. You and the smog.
Sorry, Mr. Mooney. Does it hurt?
Only when someone sits on it. Now, help me get this blasted thing off, will you? What are you doing?
Well, I'm sorry. It's a folding chair.
Well, now I've got a folding nose.
Sorry, Mr. Mooney. Oh, what a shame. It's broken, and I just bought it.
Why this sudden show of thriftiness after all the money you've been squandering?
I have not been squandering money.
Oh, no? Then how do you explain this bill for $19 from Sherry's Shoe Salon?
Well, now, let me think. Oh, yes, I bought a pair of shoes.
Bought a pair of shoes. Ask a silly question, you get a silly answer. 50 states in this union, 50! And you and I have to move to the same one.
Gee whiz, Mr. Mooney, a girl's got to have shoes. Why don't you look at it as a cold-blooded investment? Now, the better I look, the more dates I have. The more dates I have, the more I go out. The more I go out, the less food I have to buy.
You may have something there. But how soon do you think this investment will show a dividend?
I happen to have a date tonight.
Oh, someone from Danfield, an old flame?
No, a new match.
Well, I hope he's a gentleman. There are a lot of wolves around here, you know. How did you meet him?
Well, I haven't really met him yet. It's sort of a blind date.
That can be very dangerous. That's the way I met my wife.
Well, don't you worry. A new girlfriend of mine is introducing us.
Oh, where did you meet her?
She climbed through a hole in my fence.
Mrs. Carmichael, we have had our differences in the past. However, we are from the same hometown, here together in the big city. Now, California is different. Things are very different here. California stands like the Statue of Liberty, beckoning to the rest of the country and saying, give me your tired, your poor, your weak. Give me your lunatics, your moon cows, your cuckoo birds. And they all flock here.
Mr. Mooney, you're worried about me.
Well, sometimes the big daddy in me does come through.
Well, I appreciate it.
Oh, please, you don't have to get sloppy about it. A good friendly pat on the back would suffice.
I'm sorry.
No, please, really, I have to get going. I'm going out on the town tonight with the president of the bank.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
The only excitement will be when we see who picks up the check.
Well, Mr. Mooney, don't you worry about my date. My girlfriend assures me that he's a real gentleman.
Good, good. I'm glad your assurance came from such a reliable source. A girl who climbed through a hole in your fence.
Dear, I'm going to have to get a full-length mirror in this place.
Howard.
Oh, no, this is Jim Wells, my boyfriend.
Oh,
Well, nice to meet you, Lucy.
hello.
And this is... Where's Howard?
Well, he was right behind me. Howie, come on in.
Lucy, this is Howard.
I'm sorry.
Won't you sit down?
If everybody else does.
Well, you know, Lucy's only been in California about a month. This'll be her very first real-life date with a devil-may-care Hollywood bachelor.
Yeah, Jim's a lot of fun.
Oh, she meant you.
Oh.
Oh, dear, I've forgotten my purse. I left it in my apartment. Let's go get it, Jim.
I'll go get it for you.
Don't be silly. Why do you think I left my purse? So you and Lucy can be alone together.
What's taking them so long?
Won't you sit down? I hear you're a lifeguard.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure you've had a lot of exciting things happen to you.
Yes.
You're very lucky to have a job that gives you so much fresh air and sunshine.
Yes.
You wanted to say something?
Yes.
What?
Gee, they've been gone a long time.
Yes. You know, Mary Jane wasn't kidding about me being new out here and you being my first date.
You're my first date in California, too.
Oh, really? How long have you been out here?
16 years.
Would you like some candy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What'd you do?
I touched your hand. I didn't mean to touch your hand. I am not fresh.
Well, neither is the candy. Tell me about yourself, Howard.
I'm short.
I meant, tell me what you do as a lifeguard.
That's what I do. But when swimmers go out too far, I go...
That's very interesting.
And dangerous.
Dangerous?
But once I swallowed my whistle.
You must be a very good swimmer.
Well, I have to be. As soon as I run out into the water, I'm over my head.
Oh, that's funny.
You're laughing at me.
Oh, no, I'm not laughing at you. I was laughing with you.
Are you sure you're not laughing at me because I'm kind of short?
Oh, I would never do that.
Well, then, how come you have the mirror on the floor?
Oh, that was so I could look at my high heels.
But you're not wearing high heels.
Oh, but I am. I mean, I was. I will. Yes, I intended to.
I hope Howie didn't get fresh, Lucy.
No. All he did was whistle at me.
Well, where are you fellas taking us?
Yeah, where are we fellas taking them?
To the Golden Greek restaurant.
Oh, I just love that place.
I read about it. It sounds like fun. I'll get my coat. You want to take a last look, Mary Jane?
Okay.
We'll be right with you, fellas.
Jim, why did you pick the Golden Greek? You know what happens to me when I hear that music.
That is why I picked it.
Yeah, but that music.
The only place you let loose is at the Golden Greek. Now, Lucy's a knockout. I want her to see the real you.
Yeah, but you know the real me can be real dangerous.
Okay, fellas, we're ready.
Howie?
Kalispera. Welcome to the Golden Greek. With our compliments. You can bang along with Mitchopoulos.
Isn't this lovely, Lucy?
Oh, it looks wonderful. Oh.
Jim, I'm worried.
But the music hasn't even started yet.
But it will. Oh, here comes that maitre d'. Oh, I hope he doesn't recognize me.
Kalispera. Welcome to the Golden Greek. This way, please. Very nice ringside table. Madame?
Grazie.
You! Όλα τα πράγματα αποτέλεσαν στους Έλληνες από την καταστροφή της Ακρόπολης και πολλαπόλης πόλεμος, αλλά μας συνέβηκαν σήμερα και τώρα εσύ!
What did he say?
He said welcome.
How come you understand Greek, Howie?
No, some of my relatives are Greek.
Oh.
My mother and father. Oh, my real name is not Howard Coe.
Oh, what is it?
Howard Kalansankis.
Oh.
He shortened it when he became a lifeguard. We have our names on our T-shirts, and his wouldn't fit.
Oh.
I can hardly get H. Coe on my chest.
Well, Howard, as long as you understand the language, you can help us with the menu.
Yeah, what's good here?
Well, the musica is excellent.
Oh, well, I'm sure the Greek musicians are fine, but what about food?
Musica is food. It's eggplant and chopped meat, stuff like that.
Oh. Oh, say, this sounds good. Da Pontes, Castri, Cavouri, and Corinthus.
Those are the musicians.
I don't understand any of these Greek words. Why don't we just order the Blue Plato special?
Oh, excuse.
Too much.
The music.
Easy, pal. Relax.
But
Jim, let's dance now and order late.
Okay.
We're gonna dance now.
Okay. Do you like to dance, Howard?
No.
Boy, you must really hate it. Oh, we already gave. Oh, you're supposed to bang on me. Oh, that's what they're for. Oh, isn't this exciting? You like this music, Howard? What's the matter with you?
Hello, baby!
Howard, is that you?
It is me, my little baklava. Oh, let me tweak your cheek. Oh, how I love to tweak your cheek.
Howard, what's happened to you?
Don't speak. Let your mind go back to the days of ancient Greece. Go back, and let me tweak your cheek. Go back to when love was king. Oh, go back.
I better go back home.
Oh, my darling, my love. I'm sorry.
Well, you should be.
Yes.
Mr. Mooney was right about cuckoo birds.
Hi, Edith. You having fun?
Ask Zorba the Tweak here.
Really, I didn't mean anything.
What's the matter, Lucy?
Well, I'm not sure, but weird things are starting to happen.
I haven't seen anything weird.
And now the next dance will be the Hasapakos dance.
Excuse me. Would you like to dance?
I would love to.
No, I meant him.
Now that's weird.
Oh, it's a Greek folk dance, Lucy. The men dance together. See?
Oh.
Tweak your cheek!
Molly!
But I want to dance with you!
No, I won't dance with you!
Let me dance with you!
No, I'm not going to dance.
One dance! I have to dance with you! Let me dance with you! My blood is boiling!
I don't care what
And now the handkerchief dance!
One dance, please, one dance!
No, I won't dance. Besides, I don't have a handkerchief.
Who needs a handkerchief? It only makes more distance between us.
I do the more distance. Just a minute. You dance, you do it with my handkerchief.
Everybody out of the dance floor!
Howard, the music has stopped.
I can't help it. My blood is boiled past the point of no return. I want you.
No, Howard. Leave me alone. Stay away.
I wouldn't hurt you. I just want for us to be alone together.
I want to be alone.
Howard, what's the matter with you? The music didn't get you here like this last time.
But they've added a mandolin twice.
Mr. Mooney. I'm sorry, Mr. Mooney.
Mrs. Carmichael, lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place. Why must you?
I have returned to this particular morning scene more times than I can easily count, and each viewing still catches me off guard with the same quiet rush of recognition. There is something about the way an ordinary suburban kitchen already humming with the residual energy of a radio exercise program can suddenly tilt into the kind of small domestic upheaval that feels larger than the room itself. I first encountered these episodes as a child sitting too close to a flickering screen on Saturday afternoons, and even then I understood without being able to name it that Lucille Ball had found a way to make the most mundane household rituals feel both ridiculous and strangely sacred. Years later, when I began watching them again as an adult who had lived through my own share of impulsive financial decisions and mismatched breakfast preferences, the scene opened itself further, revealing layers I had never noticed before. The episode begins as so many of Lucy's mornings do, with the radio already in command of the household. We hear the instructor's cheerful voice calling out the jumping exercises. Stand with your legs together. You ready? 'Cause here we go. Legs apart together. Apart together. The cadence is relentless, almost military in its cheer, and yet it is delivered with the bright, slightly breathless enthusiasm that characterized so much of early 60s daytime programming aimed at housewives. Lucy is already in motion, of course. She always is. Even before we see her fully, we sense the physical commitment she brings to every instruction. Lucille Ball's body was never merely an instrument of comedy. It was a complete instrument of expression capable of turning the simplest calisthenic into a miniature ballet of determination and impending disaster. When she separates her legs and brings them together again, there is already a hint of the exaggerated precision that will later explode into full slapstick. The arms follow, and the arms apart together. She complies with the same fierce concentration one might bring to a far more serious endeavor, and in that concentration I always see a flash of the woman who once danced on Broadway and later conquered television by treating every patient suctives to dece physical gag as if it were the most important performance of her life. Vivian's response is immediate and weary. Tim, how about scrambled eggs? You did it again, huh? The line is small, almost tossed away, yet it carries the weight of long cohabitation. Vivian Bagley, played with such dry, affectionate patience by Vivian Vance, has clearly endured this morning ritual before. The radio has once again overridden the more practical needs of the household. Lucy's apology is quick, almost automatic. Yeah, oh, that was splendid, oh. Keep still now for our bending exercise with Lucy. And then comes the request that always makes me smile in recognition of every relationship in which one person's enthusiasm has repeatedly derailed the other's simple desires. Will you do me a favor? Just don't turn the radio on tomorrow morning, then maybe I can have my eggs the way I like them fried. There is a particular tenderness in that plea. Vivian is not angry so much as resigned, and Lucy's immediate contrition, all right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got carried away. You want fried eggs? I'll get you fried eggs, feels genuine, even as we know it will last. Only until the next distraction arrives. I have known people like Lucy, and I have been people like Lucy. The capacity to become so absorbed in a momentary task that the larger shape of the morning disappears is not merely a comedic device. It is a recognizable human failing, one that Ball elevates into art by refusing to soften its edges. She does not play Lucy as charmingly scatterbrained in a way that lets the audience off the hook. She plays her as genuinely, almost dangerously committed to whatever has captured her attention in the present second. The arrival of the mail changes everything. Picked up the mail? Any mail for me? Ah. Yeah, there's one letter for you. Who's it? From the Bureau of Internal Revenue. The very name of the agency lands like a small explosion in the kitchen. Lucy's first reaction is laughter, ah ha ha ha, but it is the uneasy laughter of someone who has already begun to invent worst-case scenarios. Vivian's practical instruction to open the letter is met with Lucy's theatrical refusal. I wouldn't touch it with rubber gloves. The image is perfect. In one quick stroke, Ball conveys both the comic exaggeration and the genuine middle-class anxiety that the Internal Revenue Service could inspire in 1960s America. The agency was not yet the punchline it sometimes became in later decades. It still carried the weight of official power of forms that could not be ignored, of the possibility that one's carefully balanced household accounts might be called into sudden question. When Lucy finally opens the letter and discovers the truth, the transformation is instantaneous and complete. Lucy, what you got? A refund, a refund. Yes, $38.23. Oh, what a wonderful government. Oh gee, I'm gonna have to send Lyndon a thank you note. The mispronunciation of President Lyndon Johnson's name is a small perfect detail. It situates the episode firmly in its historical moment while also revealing Lucy's characteristic blend of political awareness and cheerful inaccuracy. $38.23 was not an insignificant sum in the early 1960s for a widow living on a modest trust fund and sharing expenses with a friend. It was enough to feel like a genuine windfall. Enough to open a small window of possibility in a life that had otherwise settled into what Lucy herself later calls a nice, comfortable rut. I have always been struck by how carefully the writers calibrate Lucy's reaction. She does not simply express pleasure, she immediately begins to invent a future for the money. The first impulse, the one Vivian voices with the practicality of someone who has managed a household for years, is to put the refund in the bank. Lucy rejects it at once. No, that's too dull, I'm going to invest this in the stock market. The line is delivered with the bright certainty of someone who has already moved past the idea of security and into the realm of transformation. Vivian's warning, "Oh now Lucy, that's a gamble," is met with Lucy's characteristic refusal to accept the ordinary definition of risk. No, it isn't now. I want to invest it in something that will grow. I'm thinking of the future. After all, I'm not getting any younger. And then the self-aware correction that always makes me laugh aloud even in an empty room: I'm not getting any older either. I'm in a nice comfortable rut. That exchange contains in miniature so much of what makes Lucy Carmichael enduring. She is not blind to her own situation, she can name the rut with perfect clarity. Yet the naming does not lead to acceptance. It leads instead to the conviction that a modest sum of money properly deployed might still alter the trajectory of a life. I recognize that conviction. I have felt it myself on mornings when a small unexpected sum arrived and the mind immediately began constructing elaborate futures around it. The difference, of course, is that most of us eventually talk ourselves back into prudence. Lucy does not. The scheme has already taken root, and once it has taken root there is no dislodging it by ordinary means. The physical comedy of the scene is quieter than what will come later, yet it is no less precise. When Lucy declares that she cannot waste time getting breakfast because she must go buy stock, the market may be going up right now. Who knows, someday maybe my $38 will be worth 38,000 or 38 cents. She is already in motion, already. Abandoning the kitchen and the eggs, and the ordinary obligations of the morning. Vivian's final line, delivered with the weary authority of a landlady who also happens to be a friend, lands with perfect comic weight. That kind of thinking is why I own this house and you pay me rent. Clean up the eggs, girl. The reminder of economic reality does nothing to slow Lucy down. She is already halfway out the door, already living in the future she has just invented. What I find most moving even after all these years is the way Ball allows us to see both the absurdity and the dignity of that invention. Lucy's desire to invest is not presented as pure foolishness. It is presented as the logical extension of a personality that refuses to accept stasis. In the cultural context of the early 1960s, when women were still largely expected to manage household economies with caution and thrift, Lucy's decision to treat a tax refund as seed money for transformation carries a quiet radicalism. She does not ask permission, she does not consult further, she simply decides that the money will become something larger than itself, and then she acts on the decision with the same physical commitment she brought to the radio exercises only moments earlier. I have watched this scene in different decades of my own life, and each time it has spoken to a different part of me. As a younger viewer, I laughed at the sheer velocity of Lucy's shift from exercise to investment scheme. Later, after I had experienced my own modest windfalls and the subsequent temptation to turn them into something grander, I began to feel a more complicated kinship. The scene no longer felt merely funny, It felt familiar in the way that certain family stories become familiar stories in which someone you love makes a decision that is simultaneously reckless and deeply human. Lucille Ball understood that dual quality better than almost any performer of her generation. She never asked the audience to choose between laughing at Lucy and caring about her. She simply presented both possibilities at once, and trusted that we were capable of holding them together. The morning ends as so many of Lucy's mornings do, with the household already altered by the force of her intention. The eggs remain uncooked or abandoned. The radio has been silenced. The letter from the Bureau of Internal Revenue has been transformed from potential threat into unexpected gift. And Lucy herself has already begun the journey that will carry her from the kitchen to the stockbroker's office and eventually into the heart of Mr. Mooney's carefully ordered bank. All of it begins here in the space of a few minutes of ordinary domestic time with a radio exercise program, a plate of desired fried eggs and a refund of $38.23. The genius of the scene and of Ball's performance within it is that it never feels small. It feels like the opening movement of a much larger symphony of chaos, one that will continue to unfold with the same mixture of precision, affection, and inevitable disaster that has kept these episodes alive in my memory for so many years. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still hear the instructor's voice counting out the jumping exercises, still see Lucy's determined face as she follows every command, still feel the exact moment when the letter arrives, and the entire trajectory of the day shifts. That is the lasting power of this opening. It takes the most ordinary materials of middle-class life in the 1960s and, through the alchemy of Lucille Ball's timing and presence, turns them into something that continues to feel both completely of its time and strangely timeless. The refund is small. The ambitions it ignites are not. And in that gap between the modest sum and the extravagant hope, the entire comic and emotional engine of the episode begins to turn. There is a particular quality of light that seems to enter the kitchen the moment Lucy rejects the bank. I have never been able to watch this transition without feeling a small, familiar tightening in my chest. The same sensation that accompanies the memory of every time I myself have stood at a similar crossroads and chosen the more reckless path. The refund has only just been announced, the paper still in Lucy's hand, the number $38.23 still hanging in the air like a small bright balloon, when Vivian offers the sensible suggestion that any responsible adult would make. "You're going to put that in the bank." The line is delivered with the calm certainty of someone who has balanced ledgers and paid rent and understood for years that money is safest when it is quiet and unmoving. Lucy's answer arrives, without hesitation, without even the courtesy of a pause for consideration. "No, that's too dull. I'm going to invest this in the stock market." I can still hear the exact inflection Lucille Ball gave to those two short sentences. The first is almost dismissive, a quick brushing away of the ordinary. The second rises with a bright, almost musical certainty, as if the decision has already been living inside her for some time and has only now found its occasion to step into the light. There is no uncertainty in her face, no flicker of the self-doubt that might have slowed a different kind of woman. Ball plays the moment with the full physical commitment she brought to every scheme, her shoulders already lifting, her eyes already fixed on a horizon that has nothing to do with the kitchen or the abandoned eggs or the practical friend standing only a few feet away. Vivian's protest is immediate and grounded in the shared economic reality of their household. "Oh, now, Lucy, that's a gamble." The word gamble carries a particular weight in the early 1960s, especially when spoken by a woman who has known the consequences of financial instability. Investing in the stock market was still largely understood as the province of men with portfolios, and brokers, and the kind of disposable income that could absorb loss. For a widow living on a modest trust fund and sharing rent with a friend, the idea of placing an entire windfall into equities carried the scent of genuine risk. Lucy refuses the framing entirely. "No, it isn't now. I want to invest it in something that will grow. I'm thinking of the future. After all, I'm not getting any younger." And then comes the line that has always felt to me like a small, perfect self-portrait: "I'm not getting any older either. I'm in a nice, comfortable rut." I have quoted that exchange to friends more times than I can count, usually late at night when the conversation has turned to the strange ways people justify the decisions that frighten them. Lucy names the rut with complete clarity. She does not pretend the life she is living is adventurous or expanding. She sees the comfort and she sees the limitation inside the comfort, and instead of accepting either, she reaches for the only tool that seems large enough to break the pattern. Money that might become more money. The logic is not sophisticated. It is not even particularly coherent. But it is deeply human, and Ball allows us to feel both the absurdity and the sincerity of it in the same breath. What strikes me most after so many years of returning to this scene is how carefully the writing and the performance protect Lucy from becoming merely foolish. She is not presented as a woman who fails to understand risk. She is presented as a woman who has decided that the greater risk is to remain exactly where she is. The comfortable rut is named, acknowledged, and then rejected with the same physical energy she earlier brought to the radio exercises. When she declares that she does not have to know anything about the stock market because she will simply go see a stockbroker who will advise her, there is a pure, almost childlike faith in expertise that feels both comic and oddly touching. In the cultural moment of the early 1960s, the figure of the stockbroker still carried a certain mystique, a sense of privileged knowledge that ordinary people could access only through intermediaries. Lucy's willingness to place her entire refund into the hands of such a figure is less a sign of naivety than a sign of her hunger for transformation. I remember the first time I watched this sequence as an adult who had already made a few modest and not entirely wise financial decisions of my own. The recognition was almost physical. There is a particular kind of morning light that falls across a kitchen table when a small unexpected sum of money has arrived, and in that light the mind begins to construct futures that have very little to do with prudence. I have stood in that light. I have felt the same sudden impatience with the idea of simply depositing the money and letting it sit. The difference, of course, is that most of us eventually talk ourselves back into the safer choice. Lucy does not. The scheme has already taken on the force of inevitability, and once that force is present, there is no ordinary argument that can slow it. The physical comedy of the moment is quieter than the larger set pieces that will follow, yet it is no less precise. Lucy is already in motion as she speaks, already turning away from the eggs, already abandoning the domestic task in favor of the larger ambition. When Vivian reminds her with the weary authority of someone who both loves her and pays the mortgage that kind of thinking is why I own this house and you pay me rent, the line lands with perfect comic weight. It is a reminder of economic reality, of the quiet hierarchy that exists even inside friendship, and Lucy absorbs it without slowing down. Clean up the eggs, girl, is the last domestic instruction she will hear before the day fully tilts into the new trajectory she has invented. What I find endlessly moving about this sequence is the way Ball allows us to see the dignity inside the recklessness. Lucy's desire to invest is not framed as pure fantasy. It is framed as the logical extension of a personality that has always refused to accept the smaller version of her own life. In an era when women were still largely expected to manage household economies with caution, thrift, and a certain cheerful resignation to limited means, Lucy's decision to treat a tax refund as seed money for growth carries a quiet, almost inadvertent radicalism. She does not ask Vivian's permission. She does not consult further. She simply decides that the money will become something larger than itself, and then she acts on the decision with the full force of her considerable will. I have returned to this moment across different decades of my own life, and each time it has spoken to a different layer of experience. As a younger viewer, I laughed at the sheer speed with which Lucy moves from windfall to investment scheme. Later, after I had lived through my own seasons of financial caution and the occasional break from it, I began to feel a more complicated kinship. The scene no longer felt merely funny. It felt like a mirror held up to every morning, in which a person looks at the shape of their ordinary life and decides against all practical advice that the shape is no longer enough. Lucille Ball understood that impulse with a depth that still startles me. She never asked the audience to choose between finding Lucy ridiculous and finding her admirable. She simply presented both possibilities at once and trusted that we were large enough to hold them together. The cultural context of the early 1960s deepens the resonance. The stock market was still recovering, its post-war confidence and the idea of ordinary Americans becoming shareholders was gaining a certain popular currency, yet it remained largely a masculine domain in the public imagination. Women who invested were often portrayed as either unusually sophisticated or dangerously naive. Lucy occupies neither category cleanly. She is neither sophisticated nor purely naive. She is simply determined, and that determination is enough to propel her out of the kitchen and toward the broker's office with the same physical energy she once brought to the jumping exercises on the radio. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see the exact angle of Lucy's shoulders as she turns away from Vivian's practical advice. I can still hear the bright certainty in her voice when she declares that she is thinking of the future. And I can still feel the quiet ache of recognition that comes from watching someone you love choose the riskier path because the safer one has begun to feel like a kind of slow erasure. The refund is small, the plan that grows out of it is not. And in that gap between the modest sum and the extravagant hope, the entire comic and emotional engine of the episode continues to gather force. The eggs remain uncooked. The radio has been silenced. The letter from the Bureau of Internal Revenue has been transformed from potential threat into the seed of an entire new ambition. And Lucy herself has already begun the journey that will carry her from the familiar safety of the kitchen into the unfamiliar territory of the stock market, the bank, and the long-suffering patience of Mr. Mooney. All of it begins here. In the space of a few lines of dialogue and a single decisive rejection of the ordinary, the genius of the scene and of Ball's performance within it is that it never feels small. It feels like the moment when a life, however briefly, refuses to remain inside its comfortable rut and reaches instead for something that might still grow. I have always entered the stockbroker's office with a mixture of anticipation and protective tenderness. The same feeling one might bring to watching a beloved relative walk into a room where the rules are written in a language they have never studied. The transition from the kitchen to Mr. Phillips's office is seamless in the script, yet in the emotional geography of the episode it represents a genuine crossing of thresholds. Lucy has left behind the familiar domain of domestic improvisation and stepped into a space governed by numbers portfolios. And the quiet authority of men who speak of diversification as if it were a moral virtue. Lucille Ball plays the entrance with a bright, almost ceremonial formality. "Hello, Mrs. Carmichael." "Yes, oh, won't you please come in? Thank you. Very nice to meet you." "Thank you. Now won't you be seated over there, please?" The politeness is mutual and slightly strained, the way politeness often is when one party has arrived with a secret that will soon upend the expected order of the conversation. What follows is one of the purest distillations of Lucy Carmichael's particular brand of ambition that the series ever offered. She does not hedge. She does not present her plan as modest or provisional. "I just came into some money and I want to invest it." The broker's response is warm and professional, a very smart move. Lucy accepts the compliment with the satisfied air of someone who has already confirmed her own wisdom. When she adds that her friend Mrs. Bagley suggested a savings account but that she intends to put the entire amount in stock, every cent of it, the first faint tremor of comic unease begins to move through the room. Mr. Phillips is still operating under the assumption that the entire amount refers to a sum large enough to justify the interruption of his day. The audience, of course, already knows the truth, and that knowledge creates a delicious tension that Ball and the writers sustain with exquisite control. I never tire of the moment when the broker, sensing the need to appear impressive, instructs his secretary to hold all calls and cancel an appointment because he has a very important client. The line is delivered with the self-important cadence of a man who believes he is about to manage a significant account. Ball's face in response remains serenely confident. She has no idea that the importance she has been assigned is about to evaporate. There is something almost poignant in her willingness to accept the elevated status the broker has temporarily conferred upon her. For a few minutes, she is not a widow living on a modest trust fund and sharing rent. She is a woman of means consulting her financial advisor. The illusion is fragile, and its impending collapse is part of what makes the scene so enduringly funny and strangely tender. When Mr. Phillips begins his professional inquiry, "What kind of stocks did you have in mind?" Lucy's honesty is disarming. "Well, I really know very little about the stock market. But well, that's why I came to you for advice." The admission is delivered without shame. Ball allows Lucy to occupy the position of the eager novice with complete sincerity. In the cultural climate of the early 1960s, a woman walking into a broker's office and openly declaring her ignorance while simultaneously demanding to invest every cent she possessed was already a small act of social transgression. The stock market was still imagined in popular culture as a masculine arena of risk and reward. Lucy does not attempt to disguise her lack of knowledge, she simply assumes that knowledge can be purchased along with the shares. The broker's attempt to educate her about diversification produces one of the scene's most perfect comic exchanges. He explains that one should not place all of one's money in a single company, that a wise investor buys different things like railroads or automobile companies or electronics. Lucy's response is immediate and absolute, "Oh, fine, fine. I'll take a railroad, an automobile company, and electronics, all three, why not?" The pure, unfiltered enthusiasm with which she embraces the concept of diversification without any understanding of its practical limits never fails to make me laugh aloud. There is no calculation in her voice, only the bright certainty that if three things are better than one, then three things are precisely what she will have. Ball plays the moment with a physical openness, shoulders back, eyes shining, that makes the absurdity feel almost noble. The briefcase sequence that follows is a small masterpiece of escalating delusion. Mr. Phillips, still operating under the misapprehension that he is dealing with a client of substance, instructs his secretary to order a special briefcase for Mrs. Carmichael in which she can keep her stock information, the embossed leather type with her name imprinted on it. When he asks for her first name and is told Lucy, he decides that gold lettering requires the more formal Lucille, and then specifies with 3 L's. 1 at the beginning and 2 near the end. The detail is exquisite. In the space of a few lines, the broker has constructed an entire fantasy of elegant gold-embossed financial seriousness around a woman who is about to reveal that her total capital is $38.23. Jest. I have always felt a particular affection for this moment because it captures so precisely the way institutions can invent a version of a person that has almost nothing to do with the actual human being sitting across the desk. And then comes the revelation. How many shares of each company would you like? Well, as many as I can get. Well, then just how much you have to invest? $38.23. The silence that follows is one of the great comic pauses in the series. Ball holds Lucy's expression in a state of pure uncomprehending sincerity while the broker's professional composure visibly cracks. His laughter is not unkind, but it is the laughter of a man who has just watched an entire imagined portfolio collapse into a sum that would barely cover a modest dinner. When he says he has not felt this way since 1929, the historical allusion lands with perfect weight. The crash of 1929 still lived in the cultural memory of the early 1960s as the great cautionary tale of speculative excess. To invoke it in response to $38.23 is both ridiculous and strangely fitting. What I find most moving even after countless viewings is the way Lucy remains completely undeterred. She does not shrink. She does not apologize for the size of her ambition relative to the size of her capital. When the broker recovering his professional footing suggests a single share of a conservative bank stock, the very bank with which she does business, Lucy seizes the idea with the same absolute commitment she brought to the earlier fantasy of railroads and electronics. You mean I could own stock in Mr. Mooney's bank? Yes. Your stock would make you part owner in this Mr. Mooney's bank, a part owner. The phrase part owner is spoken with a quiet, almost reverent satisfaction. In that moment, the entire emotional logic of the episode shifts. The investment is no longer about growth in the abstract. It is about power, about proximity, about the chance to stand on more equal footing with the man who has controlled so much of her financial life. I have returned to this scene across different seasons of my own life, and each time the recognition deepens. There is a particular kind of hunger that arises when a person has lived for years under the quiet authority of someone else's financial judgment. Lucy has spent years listening to Mr. Mooney's lectures about thrift and responsibility. The opportunity to become, even in the most microscopic way, a part owner of the institution he serves is irresistible. Ball plays the realization with a luminous intensity that elevates it beyond mere comic revenge. This is not simply a woman looking for a way to annoy her banker. This is a woman who has glimpsed, however briefly, a version of herself that is no longer entirely subject to another person's approval. The cultural resonance of the moment is considerable. In the early 1960s, the idea of ordinary individuals, especially women owning even a single share of a local bank, carried a quiet democratic charge. Shareholding was still surrounded by an aura of exclusivity, and Lucy's determination to claim her place inside that aura, however small the claim, feels like a miniature assertion of economic citizenship. That the share costs $32 and leaves her with only a few dollars and change is irrelevant to the emotional mathematics she is performing. She is buying not merely a certificate but a new relationship to power. Even now, when I rewatch the scene, I feel the same protective tenderness I felt the first time. I want to warn her that the victory will be more complicated than she imagines. I want to protect the bright certainty on her face. And yet I also understand that the certainty is the point. Lucille Ball never asked us to wish that Lucy were more prudent. She asked us to recognize the human necessity of the imprudent hope, the refusal to let a modest sum of money remain merely modest. The insistence that even $38.23 might still be large enough to change the shape of a life. In the stockbroker's office, that insistence reaches its purest and most comic expression, and I have never grown tired of watching it unfold. There is a particular electricity that enters the frame the moment Lucy steps through the doors of the Danfield Bank as a newly minted part owner. I have watched this entrance more times than I can easily number. And each viewing still produces the same small internal shift, the sense that the ordinary rules of the institution are about to be gently, relentlessly dismantled by a force the bank was never designed to contain. Lucille Ball plays the arrival with a radiant, almost ceremonial confidence. She is no longer the woman who only minutes earlier sat across from a startled stockbroker and revealed that her total capital amounted to $38.23. She has undergone a private coronation in the short distance between the broker's office and the bank, and the transformation is complete. The first exchanges inside the bank are masterpieces of escalating presumption. Lucy greets the staff and customers with the benevolent authority of someone who has decided that ownership confers not only rights but obligations. "Good morning, Mrs. Carmichael." "Morning. How are things going?" "Fine, well, I'm very happy to hear that." The line is delivered with the warm, slightly condescending approval of a proprietor surveying her domain. When she notices a large deposit, she offers public praise. "Well, that's a nice big deposit, Mr. Williams. We can certainly use that. Keep up the good work, my man," and the comic effect is immediate. Ball allows Lucy's face to shine with the pure pleasure of imagined authority. There is no irony in her expression, only the sincere belief that her single share has granted her the right, even the duty, to encourage the productive members of the institution. The sequence with the woman filling out a withdrawal slip remains one of my favorite small comic constructions in the entire series. Lucy approaches with genuine concern. "Can I help you, Mrs. Ballard?" "Oh no thank you, I'm just making out this withdrawal slip." "A withdrawal slip? You mean you're taking money out?" "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You only spend it and you'll hate yourself in the morning. Now, if you need money, you just go to a finance company." The logic is flawless within Lucy's private moral economy. Money that leaves the bank is money that will be wasted. Money that remains inside the bank is money that continues to serve the greater good of which she is now a part. Ball plays the moment with such earnest conviction that the absurdity becomes almost persuasive. I have known people who speak of personal finance with exactly this mixture of moral urgency and complete detachment from practical reality. And every time I watch the scene, I feel a flash of recognition that is both funny and slightly uncomfortable. When Lucy then intervenes on behalf of a man waiting in line. "Well, Mr. Summers, that's a big fat deposit. If I ever get to the head of this line." "Yeah, well, now don't you worry about that, just step right over here. Would you take care of Mr. Summers immediately, please?" The full scope of her new self-conception becomes visible. She is no longer a customer. She is management. The teller's mild protest is met with the serene declaration that will echo through the rest of the episode. "You shouldn't do this, Mrs. Carmichael." "Well, of course, I should do that. I happen to be one of the new owners of the bank. You're an owner of this bank. That's right. The simplicity of the claim is devastating. Lucy does not elaborate. She does not produce the stock certificate. She simply states the fact as she understands it, and moves on, leaving the employee to absorb the implications. And then comes the security lesson. I have never been able to watch the stick 'em up sequence without laughing aloud, even in an empty room. Lucy approaches the guard with the purposeful stride of a woman who has identified a serious institutional weakness. Stick 'em up. It's you, Mrs. Carmichael. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to teach you a lesson, George. Anyone could walk in here and rob this bank. Do you know that? You're gonna have to be a little quicker on the draw. I got a 9-year-old nephew that can outdraw you. Now you better stay home nights and practice your quick draw if you want to keep your job. The physical comedy is precise and unhurried. Ball's finger becomes a pistol with complete commitment. The guard's mixture of recognition and alarm is perfectly calibrated. What elevates the moment beyond simple slapstick is the absolute sincerity of Lucy's pedagogical impulse. She is not performing a prank. She is performing a duty. As a part owner, she has identified a vulnerability and taken immediate steps to correct it. The fact that her method involves simulating an armed robbery in the middle of the banking floor is within her private logic entirely irrelevant. I have returned to this sequence across different decades of my own life, and each time the emotional texture deepens. There is something profoundly moving about the way Lucy inhabits the role of owner with such complete imaginative commitment. She does not dabble. She does not test the waters. She simply decides that the single share has rewritten the hierarchy of the institution and then proceeds to live inside that new hierarchy with every ounce of her considerable energy. In the cultural context of the early 1960s, when the authority of banks and bankers still carried a nearly sacred weight in middle-class life, Lucy's casual assumption of power feels like a quiet act of comic insurrection. She does not storm the bank with anger. She strolls into it with the cheerful certainty that she now belongs behind the invisible velvet rope that has always separated the owners from the customers. The scene also offers one of the purest expressions of Lucille Ball's genius for physical characterization. Watch the way she moves through the banking floor. Her posture has changed. Her gestures have acquired a new amplitude. Even her voice has taken on a slightly more public register, the voice of someone who expects to be overheard and obeyed. Ball never indicates the comedy. She simply commits so thoroughly to Lucy's private reality that the gap between that reality and the bank's actual hierarchy becomes the source of the laughter. It is a master class in the difference between playing a character who is ridiculous and playing a character who is utterly serious inside a ridiculous situation. What I find most enduring about this sequence is the way it prepares the emotional ground for the confrontation with Mr. Mooney that will follow. By the time Lucy finally seeks him out, she has already lived for several minutes as a co-owner. She has corrected employees, advised customers, and improved security protocols. The identity is no longer theoretical. It has been rehearsed in public, and the rehearsal has confirmed its truth. When she finally announces her new status to Mooney, the declaration will carry the full weight of that lived experience. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see Lucy's finger leveled at the startled guard, still hear the bright authority in her voice as she explains the necessity of a quicker draw, still feel the particular mixture of delight and protective concern that the scene has always inspired in me. The single share of stock has done more than give her a certificate, it has given her a new way of moving through the world. And she has accepted the gift with the same absolute commitment she once brought to radio exercise programs and impulsive investment schemes. In the bright fluorescent light of the Danfield Bank, Lucy Carmichael has become for a few luminous minutes exactly the person she decided she would be. The comedy is perfect. The humanity beneath it is even more so. I have always approached the confrontation between Lucy and Mr. Mooney with a particular kind of anticipatory tenderness. The way one might approach a familiar family argument that has been rehearsed across years and still somehow manages to reveal new layers of feeling each time it is performed. The moment Lucy finally locates him inside the bank carries the full weight of everything that has preceded it. The tax refund, the impulsive decision to invest the single share of stock, the brief and glorious career as an intervening proprietor on the banking floor. She has already lived as a partner for several luminous minutes. Now, she has only to announce the fact to the one person whose acknowledgement will make it real. Lucille Ball plays the approach with a radiant, almost ceremonial confidence. I beg your pardon, madam. I was. Oh, it's you. It's 11:30. Where have you been? Well, as a matter of fact, I was in the boardroom. I was tallying up something. What concern is it of yours? Mooney's irritation is immediate and instinctive. He has not yet been told the news, yet something in Lucy's posture has already registered as a threat to the carefully maintained order of his morning. When she corrects his tone, well now, that's not a very nice way to treat your business associate. The phrase business associate lands with the force of a small explosion. Ball delivers it with such serene certainty that for a fraction of a second, even the audience is tempted to believe the hierarchy has already shifted. The full declaration follows with the inevitability of a door swinging open. Mr. Mooney, you'll be happy to know that I have bought stock in your bank, and I am now your partner. What do you think of that? The pause that follows is one of the great comic silences in the series. Gale Gordon's face, that magnificent instrument of long-suffering exasperation, undergoes a visible collapse. His reply, "I think I'll kill myself," is delivered with the flat, exhausted sincerity of a man who has just watched the floor open beneath his carefully polished shoes. There is no theatrical excess in the line. It is the simple statement of a man who has calculated the future and found it unbearable. Lucy's response is pure, unfiltered solicitude. "You're kidding, Mr. Carmichael, please tell me you're kidding." "No, I am not kidding. The government gave me a big refund on my income tax and I put it all in your bank." The misnaming Mr. Carmichael is a small perfect detail, the kind of slip that reveals how thoroughly Mooney's world has been disordered. Lucy presses forward with the bright determination that has always defined her. "Now that I am part owner of the bank, I want you to rest assured that I am going to do everything I can to help you." The offer of help is genuine. Ball plays it without a trace of irony. Lucy has not come to torment Mooney. She has come to improve him, to elevate the institution through the simple fact of her participation. That the improvement will feel to Mooney like a form of slow punishment is a tragicomic truth she has not yet begun to consider. I have watched this exchange across different decades of my own life, and each time the emotional current runs in a slightly different direction. There are mornings when I find myself entirely on Lucy's side, moved by the sheer courageous absurdity of her claim to partnership. There are other mornings when Mooney's horror feels heartbreakingly familiar. The expression of every person who has ever watched a carefully constructed professional life invaded by a force that refuses to recognize the existing boundaries. Gale Gordon was a master of that particular register of suffering. He never played Mooney as a simple villain or a pure comic foil. He played him as a man of genuine if limited dignity, whose dignity is under constant cheerful assault. The telephone sequence that follows remains one of the purest distillations of Lucy's new identity. When the phone rings and Mooney makes it clear he does not wish to speak to anyone, Lucy simply takes the receiver and announces with perfect proprietary calm, "Danfield Bank, Mrs. Carmichael, stockholder speaking." "I'm sorry, Mr. Mooney doesn't want to talk to anybody." The line is delivered with the polished efficiency of someone who has been answering the bank's telephone for years. Ball's timing is exquisite. She does not rush. She does not underline the comedy. She simply inhabits the role of stockholder receptionist with complete commitment, and the gap between her self-conception and Mooney's reality becomes the source of the laughter. Mooney's panic when he learns the caller was Bainbridge, the chairman of the board, is a master class in controlled hysteria. Bainbridge. Bainbridge, where's the chairman of the board? I've got to get him back. What number it is? I'll get your cotton-picking fingers off that telephone. Will you do me a favor? Get out? The escalation is perfect. In the space of a few lines, he moves from irritation to desperation to the raw plea of a man who can feel the institutional ground shifting beneath him. Lucy's response, "Well, I know when I'm not wanted," is spoken with the mild dignity of someone who has been unjustly dismissed from a meeting she had every right to attend. She does not storm out. She simply withdraws, carrying her sense of partnership intact. The arrival of Vivian provides the scene with its emotional coda. Lucy, did you really buy stock in this bank? Yes, what's the matter with you? Oh, it's Mr. Mooney. Even though I'm a stockholder, he won't let me help him. Vivian's immediate diagnosis, oh, he's just like my ex-husband. All men are like that. They don't think women can do anything. No, they want all the credit. We have the babies, they pass out the cigars places. The entire conflict inside a larger framework of gendered authority that the series returned to with remarkable consistency. Lucy's reply is pure, stubborn resolve. Well, I'm not gonna give up this easily. As a stockholder, I have an investment to protect. The language of investment and protection is not ironic. It is the language of a woman who has decided that her single share confers both rights and responsibilities, and who intends to exercise both, whether Mooney cooperates or not. What I find most moving even after so many years is the way the scene refuses to reduce either character to a simple comic type. Lucy's ambition is ridiculous and also genuinely touching. Mooney's horror is excessive and also completely understandable. Ball and Gordon play the conflict with such precise mutual commitment that the audience is never asked to choose a side. We are simply invited to watch two stubborn, fully realized human beings collide inside a situation that neither of them can fully control. In the cultural context of the early 1960s, the collision carried additional resonance. The idea of a woman claiming even microscopic ownership of a local bank and then attempting to exercise the privileges of that ownership was still unusual enough to feel mildly transgressive. Lucy does not frame her actions as a feminist statement. She frames them as the simple logical consequence of having spent $32 on a share of stock. That the logic feels both airtight and completely unhinged is the source of the scene's enduring power. Even now, when I return to this confrontation, I feel the same mixture of delight and protective concern that the scene has always inspired. I want to warn Mooney that resistance is futile. I want to caution Lucy that the partnership she has imagined will prove more complicated than she expects. And yet I also understand that the complication is the point. Lucille Ball never asked us to wish that Lucy were more reasonable. She asked us to recognize the human necessity of the unreasonable claim. The refusal to let a single share of stock remain merely a certificate, the insistence that ownership, however small, must be lived rather than merely possessed. In the fluorescent light of the Danfield Bank, that insistence reaches one of its purest and most comic expressions, and I have never grown tired of watching the mutual horror unfold. I have always regarded the turn toward Dr. Kurtzman as one of the purest expressions of Lucy Carmichael's particular genius for transforming institutional obstacles into personal opportunities. The scene begins as so many of the great schemes do, with Mr. Mooney, already in a state of professional frustration. He is on the telephone with Bainbridge, the chairman of the board, attempting to explain why the bank has not yet secured the account of Dr. Oscar Kurtzman, a man who represents a $1 million research foundation and who is by every available report a very difficult man to see. As a matter of fact, he's quite peculiar. The language of peculiarity hangs in the air like an invitation. Lucille Ball's face when she overhears the conversation undergoes one of those minute luminous shifts that signal the birth of a plan. She does not yet know the shape of the scheme. She only knows that a door has opened and that she intends to walk through it. What follows is a master class in the art of the cheerful volunteer. Mr. Mooney, could I go and see Dr. Kurtzman? Perhaps I could get his account. Mooney's initial response is pure instinctive rejection. You. It would take someone better than you are. The insult is delivered without real malice. It is simply the exhausted assessment of a man who has spent years watching Lucy convert every professional situation into a form of controlled chaos. Yet, even as he speaks, the comic logic of the series begins to assert itself. The doctor is eccentric, very peculiar, strange, rather weird. And then comes the line that seals the arrangement: good heavens, you're just the one to see him. Oh, you have so much in common. Gail Gordon delivers the observation with the dry, despairing precision of a man who has just realized that the only person available for the task is also the person least suited to it by any conventional measure. Ball's response is pure, radiant acceptance. Well then, can I go? Yes, yes. Oh good. She does not register the insult. She registers only the permission. I have returned to this exchange across many years, and each time I am struck by the quiet emotional accuracy beneath the comedy. Mooney is not wrong. Lucy and the doctor do share a certain quality of concentrated peculiarity. Yet the shared quality is precisely what will make the eventual confrontation both disastrous and strangely productive. Ball plays Lucy's eagerness without a trace of calculation. She is not thinking 3 moves ahead. She is simply answering the call of an opportunity to prove that her new status as stockholder carries practical value. The investment must be protected. The bank must be helped. And if the only available method involves walking into the laboratory of an eccentric scientist who specializes in hypnosis, then that is the method she will employ. The decision to enlist Vivian is handled with the easy intimacy that always defined their partnership. There is no long negotiation. There is only the shared understanding that if Lucy is going to attempt something this unwise, Vivian will be beside her. I have always loved the way the series treats their friendship as a practical working alliance rather than a purely sentimental bond. They do not merely confide in each other. They collaborate. When the plan requires 2 volunteers for a hypnosis experiment, Vivian's presence is simply assumed. The loyalty is so complete, it barely needs to be spoken. The arrival at Dr. Kurtzman's office marks one of those delicious threshold moments in which Lucy and Vivian step out of the ordinary world of the bank and into a space governed by entirely different rules. The doctor's secretary is already expecting the university volunteers. The language of scientific urgency fills the air, Schnell, Schnell, and the 2 women are swept inside before they have time to reconsider. Ball and Vance play the entrance with a perfect mixture of polite confusion and rapid adaptation. They are not the expected subjects. They are simply the subjects who happen to arrive. In Lucy's moral universe, that distinction is irrelevant. Presence is 9/10 of legitimacy. Dr. Kurtzman himself is written and played as a figure of pure continental eccentricity, a man whose English is flavored with the rhythms of another language and whose commitment to the experiment overrides every ordinary social consideration. I am Dr. Kurtzman. And you must be the volunteers. Yes, well, yes, you could say that. The small hesitation in Lucy's reply is a tiny masterpiece of comic timing. She does not lie outright. She simply allows the doctor's assumption to become the working reality of the room. When he notes that there was supposed to be a man among the volunteers, Lucy's improvisation is swift and serene. Well, I believe there'll be a man over later. The future arrival of Mr. Mooney is already being prepared, though neither woman yet knows how completely the doctor's methods will overtake him. The preparation for the experiment is handled with loving attention to the rituals of scientific theater. The drapes are closed. The blinds are drawn. The door is locked. We keep out the outside distractions while you are being hypnotized. Ball's face during these preparations is a study in concentrated cooperation. She has come to secure an account for the bank. If securing the account requires submitting to hypnosis, then she will submit with the same physical commitment she once brought to radio exercise programs and impulsive stock purchases. The doctor's instruction to watch a swinging object and fall asleep is received with the obedient attention of a model subject. When the hypnosis appears to take effect with suspicious speed, the doctor's assessment, unfortunately they sent us 2 weak minds, is accepted without protest. Lucy and Vivian have already moved into the next phase of the performance. What I find endlessly moving about this sequence is the way it reveals the deeper structure of Lucy's ambition. She is not interested in hypnosis for its own sake. She is interested in the account that hypnosis might help her obtain. Yet once she has committed to the role of volunteer, she commits completely. There is no winking at the audience. There is no residual detachment. Ball allows Lucy to inhabit the part of the hypnotic subject with the same absolute sincerity she brought to the part of bank owner only minutes earlier. The result is a form of comic integrity that still startles me. Lucy does not dabble. She becomes. The cultural context of the early 1960s deepens the resonance of the scene. Hypnosis occupied a peculiar place in the popular imagination of the period, part scientific frontier, part theatrical spectacle, part vaguely European mystery. Dr. Kurtzman's laboratory with its locked doors and drawn blinds and air of continental seriousness would have felt both exotic and slightly suspect to a contemporary audience. Lucy's willingness to walk into that space and offer herself as a subject is therefore not merely funny. It is a small act of cultural bravery, the comic equivalent of agreeing to be the first volunteer for an experiment whose outcome no one can fully predict. Even now, when I return to the moment when the doctor begins the induction and Lucy's eyes take on that particular glaze of simulated trance, I feel the same mixture of delight and protective concern that the scene has always inspired. I know what is coming. I know the regression to childhood and the costumes and the eventual arrival of Mr. Mooney in the wrong place at the wrong time. And yet the knowledge never diminishes the pleasure of watching Lucy and Vivian step across the threshold together, two women bound by friendship and a shared determination to turn even the most eccentric scientific ritual into an opportunity to protect an investment and by extension to prove that a single share of stock can still rearrange the world. The scheme has been launched. The volunteers are in place. The door has been locked against outside distractions. And somewhere beyond the drawn blinds, the ordinary rules of the Danfield Bank are waiting to be rewritten once again by the simple, unstoppable force of Lucy Carmichael's commitment to whatever role the moment requires. In the quiet intensity of Dr. Kurtzman's laboratory, that commitment reaches one of its purest and most precarious expressions. And I have never grown tired of watching it begin. I have never been able to watch the regression sequence without feeling a complicated mixture of delight, protectiveness and a kind of tender awe at the sheer physical courage Lucille Ball and Vivian Vance bring to the performance. The moment Dr. Kurtzman declares that his subjects are in complete hypnosis and begins the process of returning them to the age of 5 is one of those rare passages in which the series steps fully into the territory of pure theatrical transformation. Later, when I wake you up, you will have been regressed to the age of 5. You will not see me or notice me except when I click my clicker. And you will obey me when I click my clicker. Now open your eyes. Stand up. In a little while you will believe you are children. You will behave as children. You will be children. The language is solemn, almost liturgical. And Ball receives it with the obedient stillness of a woman who has already decided that the success of the bank's future depends upon her ability to become for a time someone much smaller and much louder than herself. What follows is a master class in the art of controlled regression. Lucy and Vivian do not approximate childhood. They inhabit it with the same absolute commitment they earlier brought to the roles of bank owner and scientific volunteer. The first demands are immediate and physical. This is my I want that dowie too. I want that dowie too. I got my doggies. They're my doggies. The fight over the doll or dowie, in the softened pronunciation of a 5-year-old, is staged with a serious intensity that only very small children and very great comedians can sustain. Ball's body changes. The shoulders rise. The gestures become broader, less inhibited, more purely selfish. When she declares her intention to play in the playground and demands to be pushed on the horse, the physical comedy is precise and unhurried. Come on, push me. Come on, push me. I wanna be on the horse, I know I gotta get on. I wanna be on the horse, I gotta get on. You push me, push me. You push me, get up. Ooh hi ho. Ooh 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 ooh. The sound effects are not decorative. They are the actual vocalizations of a woman who has temporarily surrendered every adult modulation of her voice in favor of the pure repetitive music of early childhood. I have watched this sequence in different decades of my own life, and each time the recognition deepens. There is something almost painfully accurate in the way Ball captures the single-minded intensity of a small child who has decided that a particular toy or a particular turn on the playground equipment is a matter of existential importance. The laughter the scene produces is never purely superior. It is the laughter of recognition. The laughter that comes from remembering what it felt like to want something so completely that the rest of the world temporarily ceased to exist. Vivian Vance matches her step for step. When she announces my name is Vivian, I'm pretty and then moments later my name is Woozy, and I don't like you. The rapid shifts of childhood alliance and enmity are rendered with perfect comic clarity. The two women do not merely play children. They recreate the fluid, high-stakes social world that children actually inhabit. The dancing lesson sequence remains one of my favorite small inventions in the entire episode. I take dancing lessons I can kick over my head. Okay, kick it over here, and I'll kick it back. The physical commitment required to perform the kicks while remaining inside the logic of 5-year-old bodies is considerable, and Ball and Vance deliver it without a trace of adult self-consciousness. When the kicking escalates into accusation and injury, is it hurting? Yes. I'm hurting and it's all your fault. You won't do it. You won't do anything. The scene briefly touches the genuine ferocity that can erupt between children who have not yet learned the softer arts of emotional regulation. Dr. Kurtzman's intervention. Children, I do not want you to fight. I want you to be friends and have fun, is received with the temporary compliance of children who have been reminded of an authority larger than their own desires, and then the promise of a surprise restores the earlier excitement. The arrival of the male volunteer Mr. Mooney, though neither the doctor nor the two women yet understand the full comic magnitude of the mistake, marks the moment when the experiment begins to spiral beyond anyone's control. Mooney has come to the laboratory in his capacity as bank president, intending to close the account with Dr. Kurtzman in a civilized professional manner. Instead, he is swept into the machinery of the experiment dressed in the same childlike costume the women already wear, and subjected to the same induction. The visual joke is immediate and devastating. Gail Gordon, a performer whose entire comic authority rested upon an unbroken surface of adult dignity, is suddenly required to inhabit the body and posture of a hypnotized 5-year-old. The contrast is so extreme that it produces one of the purest physical laughs in the series. Lucy and Vivian, still inside their regressed states, receive the new arrival with the frank assessment of small children confronting an unfamiliar peer. Why are you fellas dressed like that? Us fellas is girls. My name is Woosie. How old are you, Isaac? 5. I'm only 4. She's 6, if she's a day. The interrogation of the mustache is a small comic gem. Wait, what's that under your nose? That's a mustache. It is not. Only grown-ups have mustaches. Does your daddy have a mustache? No, my mommy does. That's a make-believe mustache. It's real. It's a make-believe mustache. It's real. It's make-believe. It's real. It's real. The argument escalates with the perfect illogic of childhood debate, each assertion met by a counter-assertion of equal force and equal absence of evidence. Ball and Vance play the exchange with such concentrated seriousness that the audience is invited to remember every similar argument they themselves once conducted over matters of equal cosmic importance. When the doctor is called away by an emergency and leaves the three children alone, the brief break in character that Lucy and Vivian allow themselves is handled with exquisite delicacy. Oh boy, it's lucky we were good at playing statues when we were kids. I'll say I almost died when he came in on Mr. Billy. You were very funny when you came through the door. Everything's going swell, don't you think? I'll say it as you could fool anybody, Mr. Morning. The whispered conference is the only moment in which the adult women acknowledge the performance they are giving, and even then the acknowledgement is brief. They have a mission. The account must be secured. The performance must continue. When they notice that Mooney is genuinely entranced, Mr. Mooney, my goodness. He's really hypnotized. He's stiffer than Dean Martin. The observation is delivered with a mixture of professional satisfaction and mild concern. The experiment has worked too well on the one person who was never supposed to be a subject. The doctor's return and the subsequent unraveling are staged with the precision of a classical farce. The attempt to awaken the subjects produces the inevitable collision of costumes, identities, and institutional dignity. Mooney's outraged discovery of his own appearance. What in the world are you doing in those outrageous costumes? Look who's talking. Little Lord Fauntleroy is one of Gail Gordon's great comic eruptions. The dignity he has spent a lifetime protecting has been publicly dismantled by a combination of scientific overreach and Lucy's talent for being in the wrong place at the exact wrong time. Dr. Kurtzman's horrified realization that he has mistaken the president of the Danfield Bank for a university volunteer produces a cascade of apologies and legal threats that Ball and Vance observe with the calm satisfaction of people who have just watched their improbable plan succeed by accident. I have always been moved by the speed with which the disaster is converted into victory. Mooney's threat to sue is met by the doctor's desperate offer to place all of his banking business with the Danfield Bank as a form of amends. Lucy and Vivian's shared glance in that moment contains years of collaborative history. They came to secure an account. They are leaving with the account. The fact that the method involved regression to childhood physical combat over imaginary toys. And the temporary destruction of Mr. Mooney's public dignity is within the moral logic of the series, simply the necessary cost of doing business. The cultural resonance of the sequence is considerable. In the early 1960s, the popular understanding of hypnosis still carried a mixture of scientific respectability and theatrical suspicion. To place 3 adult characters inside a laboratory and then require 2 of them to perform an extended fully committed childhood regression was already a bold comic choice. Ball and Vance elevate the choice into something more lasting by refusing to protect themselves from the physical and emotional demands of the material. They do not indicate the comedy. They become the children, and in becoming them, they create a sequence that continues to feel both completely of its moment and strangely timeless. Even now, when I return to the image of Lucy demanding to be pushed on the wooden horse while wearing the costume of a hypnotized 5-year-old, I feel the same mixture of laughter and protective tenderness that the scene has always inspired. The commitment is total. The risk is real. And somewhere inside the mayhem, the single share of stock that began the entire adventure is still quietly doing its work, transforming a modest tax refund into an afternoon of pure, unrepeatable comic chaos. Lucille Ball never asked us to look away from the absurdity. She only asked us to recognize the human necessity of the performance, the willingness to become whatever the moment required in order to protect an investment, a friendship, and the stubborn hope that even the most eccentric experiment might still be turned to good account. In the locked laboratory of Dr. Kurtzman, that hope reaches one of its most glorious and precarious expressions. And I have never grown tired of watching it unravel and in unraveling succeed. I have always felt a particular tenderness for the quiet aftermath that follows the great hypnosis experiment, the way the series allows the chaos to settle into something softer and more human before the next adventure begins. The laboratory has been restored to order. The costumes have been explained, if not entirely forgiven. Dr. Kurtzman, still shaken by the discovery that he has subjected the president of the Danfield Bank to an unauthorized regression, has offered the only reparation that carries any institutional weight. He will place the entire banking business of his $1 million research foundation with Mr. Mooney's bank. The account has been secured. The improbable plan has succeeded by a route so circuitous and so saturated with physical comedy that no one could have designed it in advance. And yet here they stand, Lucy and Vivian and the long-suffering Mooney, in possession of a victory that feels both completely absurd and strangely earned. Lucille Ball plays the moment of realization with a luminous, almost childlike joy that still catches me off guard. We did it, we did it, we got the account, we got the account. The repetition is not mere emphasis. It is the sound of a woman who has lived inside uncertainty for the entire afternoon and has only now been allowed to exhale. Vivian Vance matches her note for note. The two of them sharing the private language of partners who have once again converted potential disaster into tangible success. I have watched this exchange across many years, and each time I am struck by how little triumph there is in their voices and how much simple relief. They did not set out to humiliate Mooney or to turn a scientific laboratory into a playground. They set out to protect an investment and, by extension, to prove that Lucy's single share of stock could still rearrange the ordinary flow of power. That the method involved becoming 5 years old and arguing over a doll is within the moral logic of the series, simply the necessary terrain they had to cross. Mr. Mooney's response is one of the most delicately calibrated moments Gale Gordon ever played. He has spent the afternoon in a state of escalating horror, first the invasion of his bank by a self-declared partner, Then the telephone disaster with Bainbridge. Then the final indignity of finding himself costumed and hypnotized in a locked laboratory. And yet when the account is secured he does not withhold the acknowledgement. You certainly did, and to show my appreciation for your help I'm going to see that you get a fitting reward. The language is formal, almost ceremonial, the speech of a man who understands that gratitude must be expressed even when the route to the victory has cost him every shred of public dignity. When Lucy and Vivian press him for the nature of the reward, "Oh, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna get?" his answer arrives with the dry, exhausted precision that always defined his best work. "I am going to buy us all ice cream cones." I have never been able to hear that line without laughing aloud and in the same breath feeling a small ache of recognition. Ice cream cones. After the locked doors and the drawn blinds and the regression to childhood and the threatened lawsuit, the fitting reward is 3 ice cream cones purchased from a truck. The disproportion is perfect. It is also strangely moving. Mooney is not a man given to grand gestures. He is a man who understands the value of a modest, tangible pleasure offered in the aftermath of shared ordeal. Ball and Vance receive the offer with the pure, unfiltered delight of the children they had so recently pretended to be. Ice cream cones, we're gonna have ice cream cones. Here we go to the ice cream truck. The ice cream truck. Here we go to the ice cream truck. The song that emerges is spontaneous and repetitive and completely sincere. The kind of private celebration that needs no audience beyond the 3 people who have survived the afternoon together. What I find most enduring about this resolution is the way it refuses to tidy the emotional aftermath too neatly. Mooney has not been transformed into a warm and expansive partner. He remains the same tightly controlled man who earlier wished for death upon learning of Lucy's stock purchase. And yet he has been forced by the sheer momentum of events to acknowledge that Lucy's interference has produced a concrete institutional benefit. The acknowledgement is grudging and temporary, and already laced with the promise of future exasperation, but it is real. In the moral economy of the Lucy Show, that small temporary shift in the balance of power is often the only victory available, and the series treats it with the seriousness it deserves. I have returned to this sequence in different seasons of my own life, and each time the meaning deepens. There are days when the ice cream cones feel like a pure comic deflation, the series gently mocking the idea that any of the preceding chaos could be adequately repaid by something so small. There are other days when the cones feel like a genuine act of grace, the only currency Mooney knows how to offer when the ordinary language of professional appreciation has been exhausted. Ball plays Lucy's acceptance of the reward without a trace of disappointment. She does not demand a larger recognition. She does not negotiate for a more substantial bonus. She simply receives the promise of ice cream with the same absolute commitment she brought to the hypnosis experiment itself, and in that reception the entire afternoon is allowed to come to rest. The cultural context of the early 1960s quietly enriches the moment. Ice cream trucks still occupied a particular place in the suburban soundscape of the period, their simple melodies announcing a small, affordable pleasure that required no appointment and no expertise. To end a sequence of such elaborate scientific and institutional chaos with the promise of that pleasure is to return the characters and the audience to the ordinary sensory world in which most of life is actually lived. The $1 million research foundation has been secured for the bank. The single share of stock has, against every reasonable expectation, produced a tangible result. And the fitting reward is 3 cones purchased from a truck that will soon disappear around the corner, leaving only the memory of sugar and cold and temporary satisfaction. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still hear the repetitive, joyful chant of the ice cream song as Lucy and Vivian lead the way out of the laboratory and back toward the ordinary afternoon. I can still see the particular angle of Mooney's shoulders, as he accepts that the only way forward is to follow them. And I can still feel the quiet gratitude the scene has always inspired in me, the gratitude for a series that understood that victory does not always arrive in the form of public recognition or permanent change, but sometimes simply in the form of 3 people walking together toward a small shared sweetness after an afternoon in which everything that could go wrong has gone magnificently, unforgettably wrong. The account is secured. The experiment is over. The costumes have been set aside. And somewhere in the distance the ice cream truck is already playing its simple tune, calling them forward into the next ordinary moment of a life that will never remain ordinary for long. Lucille Ball never asked us to believe that the victory was permanent. She only asked us to recognize the human necessity of celebrating it while it lasted, and of accepting even the smallest reward with the same full-hearted commitment that had made the victory possible in the first place. In the soft light of that aftermath, the entire Kurtzman adventure is allowed to resolve into something that feels both completely absurd and strangely complete, and I have never grown tired of watching the three of them walk toward the promise of ice cream together. I have always entered the mystery sound sequence with a particular mixture of anticipation and protective dread, the way one might approach a familiar family story in which the ending is already known and yet the route to that ending remains endlessly surprising. The transition from the ice cream victory of the Kurtzman affair to the quiet domestic morning of the contest is handled with the series' characteristic ease, but the emotional shift is considerable. Lucy has returned to the ordinary world of shared rent and modest ambitions, and the radio is once again the instrument of disruption. Oh, come on now, Viv. All I want you to do is listen to the radio with me. Oh, but I wanted to sleep late. This is important, Viv, listening to the radio. I want you to help me win a contest. The plea is delivered with the bright, relentless urgency that always signaled the birth of a new scheme. Vivian Vance's resistance is immediate and grounded in the simple human desire to remain horizontal. Ball overrides it with the same cheerful force she once brought to radio exercise programs and impulsive stock purchases. The contest itself is announced with the cheerful, slightly breathless enthusiasm that characterized so much of early 60s local radio. Howdy. Howdy. All you happy housewives, this is Gordy Felston and it's contest time. I'm now going to play the mystery sound. It's a noise you lovely lady listeners can find right there in your kitchen. To the first person who calls in and correctly identifies the sound station WLDJ, will award a cash prize of $25 in the honor of being disc jockey for a day. $25 was not a trivial sum for a household living on a modest trust fund and careful economies. The additional prize of a day as disc jockey carries the scent of possible transformation, the same scent that once rose from a tax refund of $38.23. Lucy's eyes light with the familiar fire. The ordinary morning has once again become a field of possibility. What follows is one of the purest and most sustained sequences of domestic destruction the series ever offered. The mystery sound is described only as a whir, and that single vague syllable is enough to launch Lucy into a systematic dismantling of the kitchen. Yeah, well, let's figure it out now was sort of a whir. We must have one of those around here someplace. Yeah, which drawer do you keep the whirs in? The line is pure Ball, practical, slightly exasperated. Already committed to the physical investigation. Vivian's protests are overridden with the same cheerful force. The blender is tested and rejected. The washing machine is considered and discarded. The electric knife sharpener is tried and found wanting. Each failed experiment is accompanied by an escalation of physical chaos that Ball stages with meticulous, almost loving attention to the accumulating disorder. The egg beater sequence remains a small masterpiece of escalating physical comedy. Lucy insists on demonstrating the sound while Vivian's hair becomes an accidental casualty. Lucy, you got my hair. I'm sorry. I mean it. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Dear. The apology is genuine and completely insufficient. The kitchen continues to deteriorate. The garbage disposal is next, and the absence of actual garbage becomes its own comic crisis. Oh dear, the pail is empty. How do you like that garbage all over the place, and when you want some you can't find any? Babe, go next door and borrow some. You want me to go next door and ask to borrow a cup of garbage? Why not? We'll give it back. The logic is flawless within Lucy's private moral economy. If the sound requires garbage, then garbage must be obtained, even if the obtaining requires a social transaction that no ordinary neighbor would understand. I have watched this sequence in different decades of my own life, and each time the recognition deepens. There is something almost painfully accurate in the way Ball captures the single-minded intensity of a person who has decided that a particular goal justifies the temporary destruction of the shared domestic environment. The laughter the scene produces is never purely superior. It is the laughter of recognition, the laughter that comes from remembering every occasion on which a small, bright ambition has led to a kitchen that looks as if a minor natural disaster has passed through it. Vivian's long-suffering presence provides the necessary counterweight. She is not merely the voice of reason. She is the embodied memory of every previous scheme that began with similar optimism and ended with similar cleanup. The arrival of Mr. Mooney in the middle of the destruction provides one of the scene's great comic pivots. He has come to deliver the weekly allowance check and finds himself in what he immediately identifies as a Spike Jones rehearsal. The reference to the bandleader famous for chaotic percussion-heavy musical comedy is perfect. Mooney's dignity is once again under assault. This time by the simple fact of having walked into a kitchen that has been converted into an experimental laboratory for the identification of household sounds. Lucy's attempt to enlist him in the contest is met with the dry refusal that always defined his best work. Me participate in that housewife's hoot nanny. No thank you. The alliteration is a small gift. Even in rejection, Mooney remains verbally precise. The final discovery that the mystery sound is the unplugging of a refrigerator arrives only after the appliance itself has been subjected to an escalating series of physical insults. The ice tray is frozen solid. The door is slammed in an attempt to dislodge it. The refrigerator is unplugged and then plugged in again so that the sound can be studied. Ball stages the destruction with the same absolute commitment she brought to the childhood regression only a few scenes earlier. There is no protective distance. There is only the full physical investment of a woman who has decided that $25 in a day as disc jockey are worth the temporary ruin of the family refrigerator. When the identification is finally made and the telephone call is placed, the relief is immense and temporary. That's it, that's it, that's it. You got it, that's it. It's the unplugging of a refrigerator. The triumph is pure and short-lived. The refrigerator may never work properly again. The kitchen is a disaster. Vivian is exhausted. And yet Lucy's face shines with the same radiant certainty that once accompanied the purchase of a single share of bank stock. The contest has been won. Or at least tied. The ordinary morning has once again been transformed into a field of possible glory. What I find most moving even after so many years is the way the sequence refuses to judge Lucy's destruction as mere foolishness. The series understands that the hunger for a small bright prize, $25 in a day behind a microphone, can be as powerful as any larger ambition. Ball plays the hunger without apology and without protection. She simply becomes the woman who will dismantle a kitchen in order to identify a sound. And in becoming her, she creates a sequence that continues to feel both completely of its moment and strangely timeless. The cultural context of the early 1960s quietly enriches the comedy. Local radio contests were still a genuine part of the domestic soundscape, offering modest cash prizes and the fleeting glamour of on-air recognition to anyone quick enough to identify a sound or complete a phrase. Lucy's determination to claim that recognition is therefore not merely funny. It is a small assertion of the right to step, however briefly, outside the ordinary boundaries of the household. Even now, when I return to the image of Lucy slamming the refrigerator door in the hope that an ice tray will fly out just like pulling teeth, I feel the same mixture of laughter and protective concern that the scene has always inspired. The commitment is total. The kitchen is in ruins. And somewhere inside the chaos, the possibility of $25 in a day as disc jockey is still quietly glowing, transforming an ordinary morning into another chapter of the long, improbable adventure that began with a tax refund and a single share of stock. Lucille Ball never asked us to look away from the destruction. She only asked us to recognize the human necessity of the hunger that produced it and to accept that even the most modest prize can still be worth the temporary ruin of a kitchen if the hunger is strong enough. In the accumulating disorder of that morning, the entire mystery sound adventure reaches one of its purest and most precarious expressions. And I have never grown tired of watching the refrigerator finally give up its secret. I have always approached the tongue twister showdown with a particular kind of anticipatory joy mixed with protective concern, the way one might approach a familiar family contest in which the outcome is already known and yet the route to that outcome remains endlessly surprising. The scene opens at the radio station under the cheerful, slightly chaotic authority of Gordy Felston, a man who has discovered that two listeners have identified the mystery sound at the same moment, and who now faces the unexpected necessity of a playoff. A Gordon-Felton contest never ends in a tie. Going to have a playoff. The language is bright and absolute. There will be no shared victory. There will be a single winner, and that winner will claim both the $25 and the honor of serving as disc jockey for a day. Lucy's arrival at the station is tempered by the discovery that the other winner is Mr. Mooney. The recognition produces one of the purest comic collisions in the entire composite. Oh, hello, Mr. Mooney. Hello, you know the other winner. Other winner, you. You said this contest was silly. I said it was silly for you. I didn't say anything about me. Gale Gordon delivers the distinction with the dry, precise dignity that always defined his best work. He has not entered the contest because he believed in its value. He has entered it because he happened to be defrosting a refrigerator while his wife was out chopping wood, and the sound announced itself without any effort of investigation. The contrast with Lucy's systematic destruction of the kitchen is absolute and perfect. Lucy's immediate protest, well, I'm not gonna have a playoff with this banking Benedict Arnold. It's not fair I gave him the idea, carries the full moral weight of her earlier labor. She has dismantled appliances, borrowed imaginary garbage, and risked the permanent ruin of the family refrigerator. Mooney has simply been present when a sound occurred. The injustice is real within her private economy of effort, and Ball plays the outrage with complete sincerity. Gordy Felston's insistence on fairness overrides the protest. They don't call me Fair Felson for nothing. I mean, Mr. Moody did have the correct answer, so we must have a playoff. The mispronunciation of Mooney's name is a small gift, one more tiny disorder in a morning already saturated with them. The choice of an announcing contest as the method of decision is inspired. In order to be fair, we'll have an announcing contest to break the tie. An announcing contest. My voice against hers. Well, that's like Walter Cronkite versus Donald Duck. Mooney's comparison is delivered with the weary precision of a man who already knows the contest is beneath him and yet cannot withdraw without admitting defeat. Lucy's defense of her own vocal abilities, "Oh, just a minute, Mr. Mooney, I talk pretty good," is met with the crushing assessment that she does not talk good, she merely talks constantly. The exchange is pure distilled character. Gordon and Ball have played variations of this conflict across years of episodes, and the familiarity only deepens the pleasure. The first tongue twister is produced with the solemnity of a formal test. Big black rubber baby buggy bumper. That's right, it's a standard disc jockey test. And the one who says it the fastest and the clearest wins. Just say what's on the piece of paper 3 times fast and clear. Mooney's attempt is a masterpiece of dignified collapse. Big black rubber baby. Baby bagger bags big. Black raggedy. Baggy booger big. Big big black baggy baggy. Biggie boogers biggie. The sounds that emerge bear only a distant tragic relationship to the original phrase. Ball's response is pure triumphant clarity. He didn't do it, he didn't do it. All you can understand was what? He cleared his throat. When she takes her own turn, the words arrive with perfect rapid precision. Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. Big black rubber baby buggy bumpers. The victory is immediate and absolute. Mooney's attempt to demand a best of 3 is overruled with the same cheerful finality that has governed the entire morning. I'm afraid Mrs. Carmichael won. Yes, I won. Yes, she won. The repetition is not mere emphasis. It is the sound of a woman who has lived inside uncertainty for the entire contest and has only now been allowed to claim the prize. Gordon's acceptance is laced with the quiet threat that always accompanied his most dangerous retreats. Well, I suppose I'd better be getting back to the bank. I have a lot of work to do. Like reviewing the mortgage on this radio station. The line is pure Mooney, civil, precise, and already calculating the long institutional revenge that will follow. Gordy Felston's attempt to soften the defeat by offering a second chance with red leather yellow leather produces only further humiliation. Mooney's rapid flawless repetition of the new phrase is impressive and completely irrelevant. The contest has already been decided. Lucy has won. The $25 and the day as disc jockey belong to her. Ball receives the victory with the same radiant certainty she once brought to the purchase of a single share of bank stock. The ordinary morning has once again been transformed into a field of possible glory. I have returned to this sequence across different decades of my own life, and each time the emotional texture deepens. There are days when Lucy's triumph feels like pure comic justice, the rightful reward for the systematic destruction of a kitchen in pursuit of a sound. There are other days when Mooney's defeat feels almost poignant. The expression of a man who has been drawn into a contest he never valued and then publicly dismantled by a woman whose preparation consisted of chaos rather than technique. Ball and Gordon play the conflict with such precise mutual commitment that the audience is never asked to choose a side. We are simply invited to watch two stubborn, fully realized human beings collide inside a situation that neither of them fully controls. The cultural context of the early 1960s quietly enriches the comedy. Local radio contests still occupied a genuine place in the domestic soundscape, offering modest cash prizes and the fleeting glamour of on-air recognition. The tongue twister as a test of announcer competence was already a familiar part of broadcasting lore, a quick and brutal method of separating those who could speak clearly under pressure from those who could not. Lucy's ability to master the phrase on the first attempt is therefore not merely funny. It is a small assertion of competence in a domain that Mooney had assumed belonged to him by right of dignity, rather than skill. Even now, when I return to the image of Lucy delivering the 3 perfect repetitions while Mooney stands in dignified ruin beside her, I feel the same mixture of delight and protective concern that the scene has always inspired. The victory is temporary. The mortgage on the radio station has already been mentioned. And yet, for one luminous moment, the single share of stock, the destroyed kitchen, and the long campaign of cheerful interference have produced a concrete public triumph. Lucille Ball never asked us to believe that the triumph would last. She only asked us to recognize the human necessity of claiming it while it was available and of speaking the difficult phrase 3 times fast and clear when the entire future of a day as disc jockey depended upon it. In the bright fluorescent light of the radio station, that claim reaches one of its purest and most satisfying expressions, and I have never grown tired of watching the words leave her mouth in perfect, victorious order. I have always entered Lucy's day as disc jockey with a mixture of anticipatory delight and genuine protective anxiety, the way one might watch a beloved relative step behind the controls of a machine whose every dial and switch remains a mystery. The victory at the tongue twister contest has delivered her into the one-man studio of station WLDJ, and the outgoing announcer, clearly exhausted by 9 years without a day off, has offered only the most cursory orientation before disappearing into the first freedom he has known in nearly a decade. Well, now do you think you know where everything is? Well, I certainly know that that's the right turntable. That is the master switch. That is the amplifier. This is the selectivity switch, whatever that is. And, of course, I know that's the microphone, right? This is the volume control. These are all the baseball. That's right, the sound effects. Here they'll help you dramatize the baseball game. The inventory is rapid and incomplete, and Ball receives it with the bright, unfounded confidence that has carried her through every previous disaster. What follows is one of the purest and most sustained sequences of technical incompetence the series ever committed to film. Lucy is alone with the machinery, and the machinery immediately begins to resist her. The electric fan is activated by accident. Favors and notes are scattered. The realization that she is already on the air arrives with the force of a small electric shock. Look at that, I'm on the air. I'm on the air, rubber baby buggy bumper. Rubber baby buggy bumper. Hello out there. Hello out there. This is Lucy. Lucy the disc jockey, saying hello out there. Hello to all of you people in Radioland way out there. The repetition of the tongue twister that won her the job is both a private victory lap and a public confession of nerves. Ball plays the opening address with a mixture of ceremonial formality and rising panic that still makes me laugh aloud in an empty room. The first commercial for Spangle Soda Pop is a small masterpiece of escalating disaster. Lucy locates the tape, activates the wrong switch, and then attempts to recover by reading the copy with the bright sincerity of a woman who has decided that enthusiasm can compensate for every technical error. Find a sour pop present sweet taste of pleasure, and this taste of nature that's true. Yes sir, Spangle Soda Pop, you really should drink that stuff. The endorsement is so personal and so unfiltered that it temporarily transcends the failure of the machinery. When she turns to the music and discovers that she has placed a Dean Martin album on the turntable, the recognition produces one of the great physical laughs of the sequence. Oh, no wonder it's a Dean Martin album. Now I know how Dean Martin feels. The identification is complete and instantaneous. She has become the slightly tipsy, loosely controlled presence that the record itself suggests. The traffic advisory bulletin is delivered with the same cheerful incompetence. We interrupt this program to bring you a traffic advisory bulletin. All the alternate routes are heavily congested. Please use the freeways. Well, that's what it says. The final clause is pure ball, an acknowledgement that the words have been read correctly even if their meaning remains slightly mysterious. The subsequent spot announcement is greeted with the polite gratitude of a woman who has decided to treat every fragment of the format as a personal communication. And now folks, we bring you a spot announcement. Spot announcement. Well now, thank you Spot. The personification of the announcement is so complete that for a moment the studio seems to contain an invisible colleague who has just been thanked for services rendered. The telephone request sequence remains one of my favorite expansions of ordinary broadcasting chaos into pure character comedy. A single caller requests a song for an ever-growing list of women: Hilda and Babs and Jan and Ella and Molly and Dottie and Roselle and Mimi, like Eisenhower and Mildred and Doris and Nora and Emma the redhead and Sue Ellen and Gertrude. And Estelle, and Joan, and Connie, and Sylvia. Ball records each name with the concentrated seriousness of a woman who has decided that accuracy is a moral duty. When the requested song "You're the One for Me" cannot be located, she substitutes Bing Crosby singing Stephen Foster without a moment's hesitation. The substitution is presented as an improvement rather than a failure. Here's a good one, yes sir. You're gonna love it, yes. It's Bing Crosby sing Stephen Foster. The confidence is absolute and completely unfounded. The baseball dramatization that follows is the sequence's great comic summit. Lucy has been left with a collection of sound effect records and a vague instruction to dramatize the baseball game. What she produces is a ninth-inning no-hitter in which both pitchers are throwing simultaneous masterpieces. The score is 0-0, and the only action is a single hit that produces a cascade of invented detail. Now both pitchers have no-hit games going for them. And the score is 0-0. So you haven't missed anything yet really, and Laurie Thompson is at bat. Now here comes the pitch and it's a hit. Oh. A hit. It's a hit. Now I told you it was a hit. And listen to that crowd roar. Crowd roar. Yes, sir, listen to that crowd roar. The sound effect record is activated with the solemnity of a sacred ritual. When the runner slides into second base and, according to Lucy's narration, leaves his pants at first, the invention is so pure and so unnecessary that it produces one of the longest sustained laughs in the entire composite. The argument with the umpire is rendered with equal commitment. The umpire's called Thompson out. And Thompson is furious. He is arguing with the umpire. Arguing with the umpire. He's having a little horseradish. I mean a rhubarb. The correction from horseradish to rhubarb is a tiny perfect detail, the sound of a woman who has almost remembered the correct baseball slang and has decided that near accuracy is sufficient. Ball stages the entire dramatization with the same physical intensity she once brought to childhood regression and kitchen destruction. There is no protective distance. There is only the full investment of a performer who has decided that if she is going to fail at being a disc jockey, she will fail at the highest possible volume and with the greatest possible invention. I have returned to this sequence across many years, and each time the recognition deepens. There is something almost heroic in the way Lucy refuses to surrender the microphone even as every technical system collapses around her. The series understands that the hunger to be heard to occupy the central position in a broadcast can survive any amount of incompetence. Ball plays that hunger without apology and without protection. She simply becomes the woman who will narrate a baseball game in which pants are left on base paths and sponsors are addressed as personal friends, and in becoming her she creates a portrait of on-air disaster that remains both completely of its moment and strangely timeless. The cultural context of the early 1960s quietly enriches the comedy. Local radio still carried a certain intimacy and improvisational freedom that larger network broadcasting had already begun to lose. A one-man station in which the same person spun records, read commercials, took requests and dramatized sports, was still a recognizable part of the American soundscape. Lucy's catastrophic occupancy of that role is therefore not merely a parody of broadcasting. It is a parody of the democratic promise that anyone with sufficient determination and insufficient training might step behind the microphone and be heard. That the promise ends in chaos is the source of the laughter. That the chaos is produced with such absolute commitment is the source of the lasting affection. Even now, when I return to the image of Lucy activating the crowd roar record while inventing the details of a slide that leaves a player half-dressed, I feel the same mixture of delight and protective concern that the scene has always inspired. The day as disc jockey is an unmitigated technical disaster. The sponsors have been subjected to personal endorsement. The baseball game has been rewritten according to the laws of pure imagination. And yet for one long luminous, completely incompetent broadcast, Lucy Carmichael has occupied the center of the airwaves with the same radiant certainty she once brought to a single share of bank stock. Lucille Ball never asked us to believe that the performance was successful. She only asked us to recognize the human necessity of the attempt and to accept that even the most chaotic hour behind a microphone can still feel like a form of victory if the hunger to be heard is strong enough. In the cramped, overheated studio of station WLDJ, that attempt reaches one of its purest and most glorious expressions, and I have never grown tired of listening to the wreckage unfold.